Feet on the earth. Hearts in this moment. Let's begin. Hello, friends and family.
Feel like we're having a better week this week.
Feel like so our last episode was on the All American Grooming Show, which
just happened.
Do you realize that? Oh no, the last one was the groom one. That's the one we have to post. Okay, never mind. I was going to say our last one we didn't post till after, but no, we did post it.
Yeah, we posted it before. So
we had the All American Show just happened.
Yes, it did. It was.
I hope everybody got everything they wanted. I hope they followed our advice and wore comfortable shoes and layers and brought money for the extras. And
hope you didn't go out and network on Saturday night and get way too drunk. In my defense, they were top shelf tequila shots.
I was in bed sleeping because we had a long day and another long day ahead of us.
Yeah.
And then I woke up and somebody wasn't there. So I spent the next hour worrying and thinking, I'm going to have to go find her. Where is she? And I'm messaging and nobody's responding. And just about the time I was ready to get up and go look for you, you finally came in. So
yeah, crashed in. I don't think I was that bad compared to my buddy.
You were both bad. I wish I'd had my phone. So you brought Dory's phone, and I had her phone in my hand when we walked your friend to his room.
Yeah.
And I wish I'd had my phone, so I could have recorded the two of you bumping into the wall. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you were a pair.
Yeah.
You were a pair.
Well,
but everybody made it to their room safely, and you made it up to work the next morning. You made it, and I did see him on the floor.
Yeah, he did. He did make it to the floor.
Literally made it to the floor too. So
yeah. No, I went because Nino was like, we should go up to the bar and like network with these people, and I'm like, yeah, great idea. And then I got up there, and not long after, and I had already ordered like another drink, and she was just like, we gotta go now. And I'm like, well, I'm not gonna leave this drink here. And the insurance guy was still there, so we were talking, and he kept buying me fucking tequila shots. They were top shelf.
He didn't want to drink alone, so
probably.
No.
I do not like to drink very often. Luckily, Monica didn't make an appearance. Monica is my drunk alter ego. I have kept her at bay since, like, I think my wedding. It's been a long time. But also, I was vomit-free since 23. No more.
Yeah.
And it was the next morning.
Yeah.
That was... Literally, I was...
It was fun watching you try to eat that... what was it? What were you eating? The corn salsa?
Oh, I was eating the elotes.
Elotes, yeah. And that's what it was. And corn all over the floor.
Oops. Well, I never digested any of it either. Anyways, for the future, I'm not going to be drinking a lot during networking.
It's drinking fine. It's funny because we've talked about we're going to Hershey next month, and you've been talking about these chocolate martinis.
Yeah,
I'm not a drinker.
Yeah,
I mean, I'll have drinks. I can, I'm allowed, but I am not much of a drinker anymore. That was a long, long time ago. But I'm willing to try this chocolate martini. I think I'm not positive. I'm gonna have to.
The chocolate martini.
I'm gonna look into it. I don't know. Maybe I'll try it. But anyways, you should try it. I have told you that you have to take care of me.
Yeah. Well,
so I had the
chocolate martinis last year, and I did not get drunk.
Well, I'm just saying. I don't know. I have no idea what to expect. We're going to now those. Parties are on different nights, right?
Yeah. So the Bridgerton party is on Friday night.
And then the awards is on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know what either of these nights are going to be like. So, and not that I have no intention of drinking too much myself.
Yeah.
but I also don't know how the alcohol's going to get me because I really don't
You
drink.
don't drink, yeah.
So,
No,
yeah.
like I've been to like.
So if you see me and Stephanie is not
to.
assisting me, please help me. Don't leave me.
Yeah, don't worry, I can be an adult.
Okay.
I'm just gonna refuse any shot. As long as I refuse shots.
Yeah.
And it's tequila shots that always get me.
Tequila. Yeah, I don't do.
I love tequila.
Mm.
And it was top shelf tequila. It was good. Like I could have sat there and sipped on that tequila. It was delicious.
Going out for my birthday back in my 30th birthday, so it's been a minute.
Like 2 years, it's fine.
Yeah, 2 years ago on my 30th birthday, we went out to dinner, and I think I had like one beer, and then we went to a strip club. And
That sounds like a great 30th birthday, just saying.
but
Is there a strip club in Hershey?
it's your birthday here, let's do a shot. So, and it was a tequila shot. And I think it was even like tequila rose. Like it wasn't even like raw.
Yeah.
But even that, I don't remember the night. I did not remember the night. And see,
I bet you had a blast though. You might not remember, but I bet it was awesome.
but it's not a blast if I don't get to remember it.
That is true.
I mean, I don't
know. I agree. That's why I don't like to drink very much, because when I get to that point and I don't remember, then it's like, well, why did I do that? What was the point? What was the point of drinking and doing all that fun stuff and not remembering it? So,
yeah. And I've had nights where I've gotten my girlfriend and I, she was visiting from Arkansas one year, and we went out with a group of us, and this was back in our younger drinking days, 20s, and we were whooping it up, having a great time, closed the bar, didn't want the party to end. So they're from Arkansas, so they have a pickup truck. Figure. So she was in the back of the pickup truck. I was in the back of the pickup truck, and I think my brother was in the back of the pickup truck, and we were standing right by the cab of the truck. Well, she wasn't. She wasn't at the front, and so her husband kind of took off, and she went out the back of the truck, and she ended up with a compound fracture of her wrist. Ooh. So then we're in the ER.
I was gonna say, did she realize it at the time, or was it the next day?
She realized something was wrong. So we ended up in the ER, and of course we're trash. Mm-hmm. So she's not feeling a lot of pain. If anybody knows me, I'm silly and always joking. I'm never very serious. Yeah. So we're like just having a good time, and the doctor like scolded us. Wow. Well, because I'm sure they see a lot of drunk people and they get tired of it, right? Yeah. I mean, I get it, but yeah, I was like, I felt her. I said, didn't say a word the rest of the time we were there. So.
That actually reminds me, and this actually had nothing to do with drinking. We were completely sober. Me and my friend. So I was on my way. Me and John were going to get dinner one night, and my friend lived probably 5 minutes away at the time. And we were on our way, and all of a sudden I get a call from her, which we only really text. So I'm like, this is an emergency. So I answered it, and she was like, so, hi. And I'm like, what's up? She's like, so, doing the dishes and broke a glass, and I cut myself, and I think I need stitches. And I was like, do you need me to take you to the ER? Because she didn't have a car. Her boyfriend at the time had the car. So I'm like, okay. So we went back and we took her to the emergency room. And I don't know, it was like we were drunk because we just could not stop laughing. That's how we handle pain. We just laugh. And I think we actually scared the paramedic student that was there. He thought we were crazy. But like, she was the nurse guy who helped us, the person who did all the stitches and everything, they thought we were hilarious. Because we were like making jokes the whole time and laughing and having fun. And then like it came to the actual stitches and she's holding my hand and I'm like, I think she's gonna break it. He's like, well, at least you're here. But yeah, it was, we still talk about that night to this day because it was just hilarious the way like everyone was like, are you okay? Are you on drugs? And we're like, no, this is us completely sober.
We're still working on the, all the technical stuff.
We're figuring it out.
Figure out what's working the best and what doesn't work. So
Yeah.
speaking of one car, I have a car again.
Yay!
Yes. So while we were in Chicago, my husband was able to fix our little second car, our little blue car. It
Yay!
had brake issues. He was able to fix it. So now we're back to being a two-car household. So I am not, so I can come and go if I need to, and I'm not like limited. Like
Yeah.
I was getting up. I have to take him to work at 5:30 in the morning, and then I have to make sure I pick him up at 2:30.
Mhm.
So it limited any whatever I can do.
Mhm.
So I don't have that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's cool.
Thank God for handy husbands.
Yay, he is the only thing he lacks is time. That's it. That's what he lacks is the time to do. There's a lot of little projects and little things he'd like to do.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
it's constant.
It's John too. Like he's handy, but like he doesn't have any fucking time. Like he spends so much time in the car.
Yeah, that's sad. And well, it's sad if that's not what you want to be doing.
Yeah, I mean-
some people don't mind it, and
Yeah.
maybe they even enjoy it.
He doesn't so much love the driving, but he loves his job. Even though his boss is kind of a nut job right now. But he loves what he does. He loves doing the work.
Go and run into the bathroom.
Last time we recorded, we were finishing up, and I had to go to the bathroom so bad. I thought I was going to wee myself. So you need to ease up on what I'm drinking during the podcast.
But it's so fun to drink all
Well,
the
and I need to lubricate my throat for
Yeah.
all the talking. Anyway,
Yeah.
so how was your? So we worked. We
Yeah.
worked the booth. We worked the PSD booth. During the show, so we didn't really get out much. Well, you got out. But
I got out.
we don't get out much to do any moving around. So
Yeah.
I made it a point to get our pins. I got to talk to my boyfriend Blake. I chit-chatted with a few people. It was nice. We had some. I'm working with a groomer tomorrow, so she reached out to me to learn how to do cats. So we set up this date, and we set it up a couple weeks ago, and I had a couple cats lined up. I had 3 cats lined up, and then one of them is a 2-cat household, and one of the cats is honestly I don't know if she's even if she wasn't doing well. So her mom decided she didn't think she was going to make it for the grooming, whatever happened. So anyways, so that dropped down to 1, and then the other cat I had canceled. So I was like, as of right now, I told her at All American, I'm going to try to get a couple more, but just so you know, that's where we're at. And she's like, well, I could bring my cats, but she's from Milwaukee, and it's like, that's a lot of drive for cats, and stress them out. So I didn't really want her to have to do that. But I also said, I have cats, we can bathe, but, she wants to learn haircuts.
Yeah.
And I don't have cats for haircuts. But luckily I got home and I now have 3 cats scheduled. So
Nice.
we're good. We have 3. Duncan's really good. He's great, actually. He's a fantastic cat. He's a Persian, so we could talk about like plucking the face and stuff like that too. Lucy's really good, and I think I can do a plush cut on Lucy and then do her regular line cut so she can see that. The 3rd cat is a brand new cat.
So that'll be good though.
Yeah.
Like he'll kind of learn how you have to like
Talk to
defend
the
your
customer.
your customer.
Yeah.
And
who knows if we get it done or not? She could see what I
it's still a learning learning.
Well, it's still an opportunity to learn. So so that's gonna be that's tomorrow.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah,
Make sure you let me know how it goes.
I will.
I actually met quite a few people that night too when I was out.
How do you remember?
I remember earlier. I remember up until
you don't.
Well, up until I got to the room the first time. After that, I don't remember. But I remember all of like the networking and stuff that I did. I met. There was 2 groomers that they had been working for one of those abusive bosses. And she had been supposed to be teaching them how to groom. So they were still pretty fresh, but they grew some balls and then they went and opened their own business together. And it's doing really well. Yeah. And I was like, I'm so proud of you guys.
I mean, I hope they were doing classes and not shopping, but that tells me that they're to keep learning and
and they were like talking to me.
Like I'm like, you can reach out anytime. I'm happy to help. And like they're like, because they said they're like, we're here because we want to be better groomers because we know that we were taught poorly. And I'm like, just anytime, just reach out.
Sometimes just knowing what is wrong.
Yeah, knowing what you're lacking. That's the hardest part because you don't know what you don't know, When
I learned to groom, there was a lot of like force.
A lot of
force. A lot of, let's pile on, extra hands holding, trying to hold dogs still if they were fighting. And it was just so it was a lot. It was like a get her done kind of attitude, like, this is your job.
Mm-hmm.
And sadly, that still happens. Like there's still groomers out there that have that this is what I'm paid to do. I'm going to get it done at all costs. There's owners out there that think this is your job. I don't care if my dog's a psychopath.
Yeah, get it done.
That's what I'm paid to
Just
do.
force them to do it.
Right. And and so there's still a lot of that in the grooming world. And I'm still, I told you, I backed off. I'm trying to let go of some of my spicier cats.
Mhm.
I was thinking about it yesterday, and I'm almost to that place where I'm just going to stop taking new clients, and
That's valid.
and just be done, and just try to get the clients that I have to be more regularly scheduled. And I've gotten more that are scheduling. So that's good. There's still the stragglers. They're cats. I mean, it happens in the dog world too. It seems to just happen more.
It happens more.
Well, and I think that's a lot of because, I mean, cats, they haven't reached the same level of like being with us kind of thing, like domestication. So people, still, and they're still kind of like wild animals. And so they're like, they can take care of themselves. It's fine. But, and some of them, like, I've never given, John tried to give Chiano a bath once. And it ended up very bloody. But like, she does take care of herself. Fry, I have to brush the shit out of him constantly. Like, and he's still short hair. But yeah, I think a lot of people don't have that understanding that they're not completely wild.
And there's a lot of the cat world, even in the profession, there's a lot of, and I'm just going to say their opinions, right? Mm-hmm. That every cat is groomable, and then there's the other side that will say not every cat is groomable, and I'm very much in that point where not every cat is groomable.
Yeah.
Like there are cats that I am not going to push this cat to do this.
Yeah. I mean,
and I feel like there's so much online that it's like, I agree with this paragraph, not at all with this paragraph. Yeah, some of it, it's like, do we really?
The way I see it is every cat is groomable in some way. Like Chiana, I run the brush through her and I wipe her down with some bathing wipes. Fry is just, I brush him a lot. I will say he probably could be bathed, but I just haven't had the energy to carry his fat ass down here, honestly.
I think I need to work on a
He's actually not that fat. He's just a huge cat.
I need to work on an educational something for the general public. Try to get, an audience of the general public that to teach them about, like, I do have a course that I taught years ago at Parkside at our University of Wisconsin Parkside, and it was about cat or pet grooming at home. And it was just a 2-hour class that I talked to people about brushing and combing their dogs between grooming, between professional groomers, nail care, ear cleaning, just that kind of basic stuff. You want to give your dog a bath at home? Okay, great. This is what you need to do. This is what this is how you need to prep the coat. If they're matted, please don't do it. Seek professional help. And it was just that kind of in between stuff. And then I had an advanced class where I actually showed people how to use a clipper, use the scissors, in those areas where, you need to be very careful here, and all that. So because people are going to do it, right? People are going to go, oh, I'm not paying that much. I'm going to buy, these $35 clippers and I'm going to clip on. And that's your business. That's your business.
And even if it's not about saving money, so when I started grooming, yes, it was because I couldn't afford to groom Nibbler. But then I kept doing it because I enjoyed doing it. And I've had quite a few private lessons where it was like owners wanting to learn how to take care of their own dogs. And they're like, yeah, we hope it saves money, but really we just want to do it.
I see it a lot in like with poodles, because poodle grooming
it's expensive.
It's necessary. Like, you have to groom your poodles. You have to keep up on that. And if you're not willing to brush and comb them, even doodles, although the doodle people are just a whole nother breed of crazy.
Yeah.
Poodle people know that you have to brush and comb. If you're not going to go to the groomer every couple of weeks, you better be able to do it at home.
Yeah.
And even if you're going to go to the groomer, once a month, there's still maintenance you have to do at home. But like with cats, there's a lot of cats out there that they need that. They need the in between. And there's just people that just don't seem to catch on to that. So I need to I need to put together a class, an education class, just for the general public that's just about cats. Because there's still so much. Cats groom themselves. Cats lick themselves.
You can run it here.
Well, I mean,
yeah, because I do plan on. I want to have my youth program, basically. I want to do an adult version as well. But that's just dogs for now. Not ready to move into I got to get my cat grooming program done first.
But I do want to, hopefully by next year, have like a program for adults to take so that they can just kind of learn to take care of their own dogs. And also, I play the long game with that too. Like, I do these youth programs because I'm hoping that they'll realize that they like grooming, and when they get old enough, they'll take my programs. But with the adults, maybe they'll realize that they want to do it, and
or they'll realize that, wow, my groomer goes through a lot.
Yeah,
I should tip better.
Yeah,
maybe I shouldn't squawk when she raises her prices $2.
Yeah. No, I want to make sure that people understand it. In my communication classes that I did at All American, both times I mentioned we don't speak the same languages as our clients.
Right.
And so that's our biggest barrier is they are speaking a completely different language about grooming than we are, even if they're trying to be educated. There's so much information out there. They could Google all day and they're going to get different results.
Right.
You know?
Right. And you don't, like you said, you don't know what you don't know. So you don't know if that's good or bad because you don't, what are you basing it on?
Yeah.
And yeah. Well, and I get so frustrated when people go and buy their pets, whether they're buying it from a breeder or they're adopting from a rescue or shelter or they're, a pet store, whatever, that they're not getting the best information. Or they're not getting a full, like even the rescues that I work with, they don't really get into grooming pets. Now, granted, there are a lot of the animals that they see maybe are short-haired. They're the farm dogs that are coming up from the south that, they don't need a whole lot of grooming. They need their nails cared for, but,
They
you could
still,
give your
still at least need something.
no. I don't. I'm just trying to be fair. I could give my short-haired dog a bath at home and let him run around and dry. Like there's not a whole lot that goes into it other than like I got to keep those nails short. But they don't really express that when they're adopting. It's more about training, which with dogs, which absolutely, your dog with a trainer, absolutely.
Well, and but you see it with training. You see them like some of them will have requirements of like you have to do this training, otherwise you can't take the dog. But they don't do that with grooming.
No, and that's what I'm saying is that, and then but there's also, you got it. So when I adopted, we just got 2 kittens and we adopted them, and on the adoption form they want to know who your vet is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, they call the vet. They want to know, hey, what kind of do they do? What do they do? And of course, my vet's like, oh, she doesn't vaccinate. Yes, I do. I just don't bring my pets to you to be vaccinated. I go to a clinic where I'm just getting a shot and I'm not paying to walk through the door, right?
Yeah.
Like please don't tell them. Don't tell them I don't vaccinate. You have their records from the clinics. Like I share that with you.
You just don't vaccinate.
Needless to say, I switched vets because I was kind of like on the fence with that vet anyways. But I thought, yeah, bitch, no, that's not fair. I have all the records. You have all the records. Don't say it. I don't bring my pets to you as often as you'd like to see them, maybe, but they're getting their shots. They're being taken care of. Anyways, they're also, so they want to know my vet, but there's no place for groomer.
Yeah.
Like, what about my groomer? And I mean, it could even just say, if applicable, and then they could make a determination, we're just a groomer.
Yeah.
Who's going to clip these pets' nails? Who's going to take care of the grooming for this pet?
Yeah.
I mean, it could be and should be on there because they need. So I give this rescue, I give them cards to put, I would give them a business card to put in all their adoptable cats. I've given them little gift cards that say, free consultation and a nail trim. Give that to everybody.
Yeah.
Let them come and get a nail trim for free, and I'll talk to them about what this cat's going to need going forward, and then we can go from there. That's the idea.
Yeah. I was thinking about it would be like I would be willing to do like 30-minute consultation teaching you how to take care, like maintain your dog.
Yes.
I also don't trust a lot of rescues.
No.
It's not. I don't know. I think the ones around here are better, but when I was in Illinois, I got burned bad with the rescues. It's like they have no boundaries. And if you piss them off, they'll make a big stink about it.
But I found, and I'm not going to mention the rescue's name because I do like them, and I think that I think their hearts are in the right place. I have some personal opinions about the way they do things, but I'm not getting involved either, right? Like I'm not gonna.
I have a lot of personal opinions on the way they do adoptions in most rescues. Sorry.
Oh, nope, there goes.
Yeah, I will be honest. I will probably never rescue another animal. I will rescue cats,
but only from the one place.
Well, okay. So let's go.
Dogs. I'm going to buy them from now on because I don't want to deal with rescues.
I'm thinking about even just. So I had a customer recently, and she brought me 2 babies, 2 kittens. They're like 4 months old. Little short hair exotic, really thick, dense coat. He was so good. And then his sister was a long haired exotic, was like grooming a snake. She was just so slippery and wiggly, which is normal for a kitten to begin with.
Well, and cats are basically water.
Cats are water, so yeah. And so she was a tricky one, but she had some staining on her bib, and I tried what I could, and it didn't come off. So it's kind of like it's just stained. It's either going to have to grow out or be cut. And she's a baby, so chances are she's going to make a mess of herself going forward.
Wait till she's older, she'll get over it.
Right, exactly. Wait till she gets a little older, and then we'll. Because I told her, I said, I really don't recommend shaving kittens, unless they're mad at it. And I have had Persians come to me that about maybe 6 months old that have had some pretty tight mats up in the chest area that I've had to shave. But anyways, she's got other cats, and I have a few customers that have like multiple cats, and they're all like exotics and Persians and long hairs, and it's like, and I'm always seeing them, and they're not in great shape, and I just think, why do you keep buying these animals that are, and you're buying them, right? They're buying these animals
Spending
that
a
are
lot of
so
money on them.
spending a lot of money because they're purebreds. And they're so high maintenance, and you're not doing it. And then you go out and get another one. And then it's like, there's so much, and this is part of the education thing. But I was thinking a lot about like breeders, because this woman was telling me, oh yeah, she's got one cat, and then she's got these two. They're not litter mates. They're from the same breeder. They're roughly the same age. And then she's got another cat that's just a few months older that has the same dad as this one, different moms. And it's like, and this had my head going. We talk about responsible breeders all the time, right? The responsible breeders, you're doing the health testing, you're trying to better the breed, maybe you're showing, hopefully you're showing, because that's how you're bettering the breed. You're educating your clients. You're not just letting them go willy-nilly. You know where they're going. You're willing to take them back. That's responsible. Do we talk about ethical breeding? Because to me, an ethical breeder will absolutely never have litters available.
Yeah.
You will always have to wait for your litters. With the only exceptions are this dog or cat had more than we anticipated, so we have some extras. Or somebody returned one, or
they may have like older ones that they held
place, right? But even then, they should have a list of people that are willing to, that take them, that want them.
Yeah.
That's ethical breeding.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think we talk enough about that. Like, I know a lot of breeders, and I love them. I do. I love them. I don't know how ethical they are.
Yeah.
Because to me, you don't have litters and then find owners.
Yeah.
You have people that want, and then you plan a litter.
Mm-hmm. It's like I put myself on a list already for a breeder, and I can't. And I told them up front, I'm like, once he passes, I will want one as soon as I can, but until he passes, I can't. Don't worry, Nibbler. I'm not letting you pass anything.
I've been waiting for my poodle puppy. I think we're going. When I finally get her, it will have been 3 years.
Yeah.
Now there's been many poodle puppies out there that I could have gotten.
Yeah.
Right. Lots of and good breeders, like beautiful dogs, great breeders. I could have put myself on a list because they had litters coming sooner, and they're ethical.
Yeah.
They're not. Not because they plan the litters, but they're planning litters and taking names. I could have easily been on one of those lists and had a puppy already. I researched, and I found a breeder that I really, really just, everything on her website struck me. She actually had a litter at the time. I think she had one puppy that was not spoken for. And I don't know the details of why, but all the other puppies in the litter were spoken for, but she just happened to have one
It's understandable.
that wasn't spoken for, and she offered her to me at that time, but I'm like, you know what, I'm not ready. I have to wait.
Well, and
the other thing, had other people that were interested.
Yeah, the other thing with that is like, some people have very specific dogs that they're looking for. Like when I I want when I get my cocker, I want a black male. So yeah, my breeder might have other dogs, but they don't fit what I want. And so I could see, then that dog is, but it's not going to take long to find a home for that dog.
Offered me had her nose was discolored. So she was, puppy, or pet, she's perfectly fine.
But
but she wouldn't have been a show, and who knows, maybe most of the people on her list were looking for show. Yeah, she just had her and she's like, she is available if you're interested in her now, but I'm like, no, I can't. And I think she was gone within days of that anyways.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I picked her, I watched her videos of this litter where it was the previous litter because it was the litter before that I was watching the videos on. But the work she does with these puppies from day one, getting them ready to go home, they start potty training, they start crate training. They're in their own crates. They're all in their own crates.
They're all getting
overnight before they go to their new home. So they're already, they've already learned that. They're getting groomed regularly. She works on taking them for car rides, taking them out in public. Noise, if it's during the 4th of July, there it is. If it's not during the 4th of July, they play the fireworks and noise and in the background. Yeah, and so just everything about this breeder was like, this is my breeder. And then I reached out to her and that's when, like I said, I've been waiting. By the time I get a puppy, for the litters she's planning a litter next year. Not entirely sure when. It just depends on when Mama goes into heat. She's got an idea when that should be, but nature. And again, it's like the Mama goes off to be bred. Does it take? Don't know. So while I say I've been waiting and it'll be next year, I don't know if it'll be next year. I hope.
Yeah.
I hope everything goes well and I can get my puppy. But there's always the chance that the breeding won't take, or she'll have all boys, and I don't. I really just want. I want to know what I want.
You could also end up with a really small litter.
She could have a small litter, and
depending on where you are on the list.
So so there's all kinds of factors that come into this. I think if you want an animal, you need to like know what you're getting. And the other thing with rescues is and shelters and stuff, what do they know about dogs besides even just their grooming, but like their personality? Like, I don't know. I think probably
rescue people know nothing about breed.
We've probably seen the older clients with the dog that they should not have, right? Mm-hmm. Like the older clients that end up with some 60-pound high energy,
end up with like a freaking boxer or
something. Right, just something. It's like, why? And, we rescued it. What the hell was the rescue thinking?
Yeah.
Like match the dog with the people. Like, I get it. Like when I go in, I see, that one's cute, I want it. It's up to the person that's like got the knowledge to go, they're all cute, but that's not the dog for you.
Yeah. But then there's some rescues that are out there that are super strict with their rules.
And then nobody gets anybody. Nobody gets a dog.
Yeah. There was one where I used to live that they were really big on, we're a no-kill shelter, but any dog who showed any signs of aggression,
we'd put them down.
They wouldn't put them down.
But they wouldn't
adopt them out.
Right. So then what? Then they just live in a cage for the rest of their lives? Yeah.
And there would be dogs there that would live their entire freaking lives. And it would be because they're like kennel shy or something like that. And then like they would turn down people. I remember they turned me down as a dog groomer. And then they also turned down my father, who, like, first of all, well off. He has a huge house with plenty of yard. He also has a lot of time that he can spend with that dog. And he's already, like, he likes to adopt the ones that have that aggression because he knows how to work with them. You know, his old dog Kaylee, I was the only person who could groom that dog because she would eat everybody's face.
Definitely, there are definitely occasions where there's dogs and even cats that, maybe they're not going to be home friendly.
Yeah.
Don't think they should live in a cage though. Like there's got to be something else.
Yeah.
Like there's places out
Find
west.
them a freaking farm or
Right.
something.
There's places out west that actually have, like acreage where, they will take in dogs or cats, whatever, and they can live out their lives. And
Yeah.
they can
Well,
do
when
I worked
right.
for
And I
the-
think that's what we should be looking for. So
Yeah.
I commend you. Bring the dogs up from this, high kill shelter, whatever, if that's your thing. But then that doesn't mean that you're the best place for them.
Yeah.
Right? Just like in grooming. I can't groom this cat. That doesn't mean you can't groom this cat. That doesn't mean another groomer can't groom this cat. It just means I can't groom this cat.
Yeah.
Now, typically, I have been the cat groomer, right? I'm the one that all the other cat groomers will refer the cats to, or the vets will refer to me.
Now she's
Lovely.
talking to me.
Well, yeah, lovely. But here I am, like I'm not a spring chicken. My body's not what it used to be. My eyesight's not what it used to be.
Your reflexes
My
probably.
reflexes aren't what they used to be. And quite frankly, I'm fucking tired of wrestling cats, right? Like I enjoyed it for many years. I enjoyed it. Like I'll give me the cats over the dogs, give me the cat. But now it's gotten to the point where it's like, it's not so enjoyable anymore. Like just when so many of the cats I see are so feisty, I have to have a second pair of hands. There's only so many days my husband's available to help me. And you know what? It's not really fair to expect him to work a 40-hour week and then have to come home and spend his one full day off assisting me for half the day. So, it just got to the point where, I'm not doing this anymore. And you get them. But I also tell people that I've been the one, if I can't do them, they go to a vet. That's your next step.
Mm-hmm.
If all the groomers are referring to me, I can't refer to them. They're going to have to go to the vet.
Yeah.
Now, I will tell them now, because you're doing cats, try Stephanie. But I would also tell them, but I would talk to your vet and see if maybe there's something that they can have that'll help, because, some of these cats are like, and I would feel horrible if you took a cat that I didn't want to do and got hurt. I trust that you're capable and you know how to reach out.
And I will turn it down if I don't feel comfortable. Yeah.
Right. You're also, you also know how to go, that's above my pay grade.
Yeah. I can't do this one.
Yeah, but people just, I just had one. So she reached out. I groomed one cat. It was spicy. She reached out for a second cat. And I let her know. And this was right when that whole week was happening. I let her know, I'll try it. Because, I'll always try.
Yeah.
I will always give a cat a chance. I will almost always give a cat a second chance. But I may not do a third chance, especially now. But I did say that, but I'm not going to groom your other cat anymore, because he did give me a really difficult time. He was sissy, growly, and spitty, which I told her.
Very honest.
If I have a client say, oh, I didn't know that, the fuck you didn't, because I am brutally honest when people, I can put it kindly. I might not say your cat was an asshole, but I will tell you, he got very upset. He was ornery. He was hissing. I will tell you, he was hissing. He was growling. He swatted. I will always tell them. He tried to bite me. I will tell you. So
I
don't
can tell when the clients you send to me are lying. And they're like,
because I will
she didn't say there was anything wrong with them. And I'm like, I just talked to her.
Yeah. Yes, I will always tell people. I don't sugar, because here's my thing. Whether I'm grooming the cat or somebody else is grooming the cat, they need to know what's coming at them. It's not fair, and the owners need to know. Hey, he might be sweet and kind at home. This ain't his thing. You don't like it,
and that doesn't make him a bad cat.
No, it doesn't make him a bad cat at all.
Not great.
Right. It just means you need to be honest with your groomer, because somebody could get hurt. And you pretending like you had no idea is not okay. It's not okay. Dogs, cats, I don't care. It's not okay to pretend you didn't know.
Yeah.
So I am brutally honest with my clients. But so I send her this message and I said, I'm not going to groom that cat anymore because he was difficult. And she comes back and I said, but I can do the second one. And she's like, well, I'm going to look for somebody that can do them both.
Mm-hmm.
His other groomer never said he was good. And it's like, oh, okay, well then it's me. Whatever. Fuck it. It's me. I don't care.
It didn't work for me.
Right. It can just be me. Like it bugs me because it's like, so I'm making it up.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, or your other groomer didn't tell you because, I see that a lot too of groomers going, oh no, he was fine. He was good. No, he wasn't. Tell the truth. He didn't like it.
Yeah.
It's a necessary evil. We still need to do it, but
Yeah.
he doesn't like it.
I'm really good about, like, I will tell them. Sometimes I tend to pick too soft of words for it.
I've done that too.
And it's because I understand where the cat or the dog is coming from, and so I understand why they're like, and so I want like, I'll try to explain it so the client understands that I'm not taking it personally from this animal. It's just he's struggling. Yeah. But yeah, I've had to work on being a little bit more blunt.
Aggression comes from fear or pain. They're either fearful of something that's happening or they're in pain. And those are the things we have to consider.
Mm-hmm.
So when your cat is being aggressive, swatting, hissing, growling, biting, it's fear or pain.
Mm-hmm. And you have to be able to tell the difference.
Yes.
And if you can't tell the difference, you have to be able to go, you need to check with the vet and make sure it's not pain.
Right. Or I should say there's also, like, it could just be discomfort.
Yeah.
Maybe not pain, maybe not fear, but just, I don't want you to manipulate me like that.
Yeah.
I have
I don't like when my legs get open like this.
I have so many cats that as soon as I try to lift up their leg, they fold in on themselves.
Yep.
And it's like you're trying to elbow them, get that head down here so I can stretch out the leg. And it's like, you see how long my arms are. I have a lot of Maine Coons. I do not have I don't have the wingspan to hold the head of a Maine Coon and stretch the legs out or, with my elbow because I got a clip. Yeah, it's like, this is.
I have a really bad habit of, I use my body a lot with cat grooming, but I have a really bad habit of getting my arm in front of their face.
Oh, I do it. Yes. Yeah, right.
So much.
And then it's like, it's a wonder I haven't had more bites on my forearms.
Yeah. It's right in here.
Yeah.
They like to bite right here.
Yeah.
It's never a hard bite. It's always like hey, stop. Yeah. I didn't like that.
Yeah.
But every time I'm like, why did I put my arm there?
I have one cat that she licks. She's never tried to bite, but she'll lick, and it scares the bejeebus out of me every time and I don't know why. It startles me. Right? I'll be just going along, and all of a sudden she'll lick my arm, and I'm like,
it's a Fry. If you've ever had him come up to you, if you're petting him, he has really big canines, like big, so they stick out constantly. And he likes to rub his face against you.
Oh, yes.
And so you'll be petting him and like he rubs his tooth against you and you're like, and it's like, oh, he's not biting. He was just, anytime a new person tries to pet him, I'm like, just so you know,
he's not biting.
No.
It's just his teeth are too big for his face.
I have a kitty that has big teeth.
Yeah.
I do have a client that I'm so sad. I let her go. Her cat was just too much. And he was one of the ones I had canceled last minute. And then I, went through everything I went through and just said, you know what, I'm going to have to let him go. And I felt so bad. And I kept debating about reaching back out to her and going, well, I thought, no, you can't. Like, he's too much. I'm really hoping she reaches out to you. She's
for all I know, she might have.
Yeah, I'll let you know her name before the end of the day, but she's awesome. The cat is really cool. He's a Maine Coon, and he's really, really cool. He just doesn't enjoy being combed. And so as you're, after a while, he gets he gets ornery, and he's big and he's strong.
Yeah, he's got a low tolerance
He's got a
for,
low
for
tolerance,
touch.
right? And well, and it's not even so like you can comb
Combing.
him, and his back is fine because there's no snarls. But as soon as you start getting to the underside where it's starting to mat up or chunk up, it's not so much. They're not so much mats. He hasn't really been matted, but he's had some.
But it just
Yeah. But once you start combing that, then he starts to get ornery, and especially in his back, and his tail is broken like 2 places.
Oh,
Yeah. So I think it's a little sensitive for him too. So of course, as soon as you start picking up his tail, he's like, "Bitch, get out."
don't touch my
So, but I've let him go, and I've only let a few go so far because it's early. But I'm really like I miss him already. Like I miss the
if I
fact that
get
I'm
him, I'll
not.
make sure to send you.
Yes. Well, just letting me know that he is coming here. Like that's the other thing. If you've ever given up pets, whatever reason, like I've quit, retired. I've done a lot of that because of me, because personally, because it's something I've had to do. But this feeling of who's taking care of,
it's so hard.
Sophie was so special, and who's taking care of Sophie now? And I want to know. I want to know that.
I had a really hard time leaving the So the mobile I was working for, they had to like let me go because I just could not give up some dogs. And I totally understand where they were coming from because I was literally doing like 1 day a month. And so I get it. It's not working, but I was like, I did not want to give up those dogs. It was hard because they were I would take the ones that, nobody else could do because I like doing those dogs. But then I'm like, well, who's going to do them then? But a lot, and like
with the soft hands that I grew with, or are they going to end up going somewhere where they're? Because I had one dog. I'd been grooming her since she was 12 weeks old. She followed me up from Kenosha, and then COVID came, and I'm on a break. Like my dad is 80 years old. I have asthma. My husband has asthma. We are still just learning what this is, how serious it is. We were in that high risk category, and everybody was fighting to get back to work, which I get it. I wasn't ready to get back to work.
I was in the same position. Wisconsin, I know they came back to work a lot quicker than Illinois did because I was in Illinois. We had 6 full weeks of being off. I think you guys were like a month. I just remember the day that they took the restrictions away, just like everybody crowded to the bars, and I'm like, all of you are going to get sick. I was also high risk, so.
And I had decided that I was gonna so I'm taking my break. The other salon was back up and running. You're welcome to go. I told my dog clients, look, you're welcome to go wherever you're going. I'm not doing it right now. I'm not going back to work. I'm not leaving my house. I'm not taking anybody here right now because again, everybody in this house is high risk. And I'm just not going to take those chances. Not now. I need a little more time. But I decided that's when I decided I'm not going to do dogs anymore. I'm just going to go strictly to cats. But I had like 4 or 5 dogs that I'm going to hang on to.
Yeah.
Because they're they do better at home. Like the one I'm talking about that followed me from Kenosha, she'd never been to the salon I was working at. I'd only groomed her at home. Well, she reached out, and I'm like, I she keep her dog so short. There's no reason why this dog can't go at least an extra month. It's not. The dog is fine. She didn't want to wait. Now, the dog was getting older, starting to go blind, starting to go deaf. She was always fussy for her face, but now she's gotten even worse for her face to the point where I couldn't even safely, like I'm sure I could have, tied her up, forced it, but I couldn't safely get like her face real clean like she liked. So I was doing the best I could. Clippers, scissors, anything by her face, she would freak out. So I'm doing the best I can. So we had been her grooms weren't perfect at that time. So she went somewhere else, and I was sick to my stomach. And then so I reached out, and I think I took a total from what, March, I think is when they started
Yeah,
when they started
March.
shutting down. So I took a total of like May, June. I think the end of July, August is when I came back. So 4 months, maybe 5 total, is how long I actually gapped. But I reached out to her. I said, look, I'm going to start taking clients. We're going to do the porch thing, just to begin with and everything. I'm good.
Okay.
So I've been grooming your dog since it was 12 weeks old. And because she technically missed 2 appointments with me, because the whole fucking world
Was on fire.
is on fire, you're going somewhere else.
Yeah.
And all I could think was that whoever was grooming this dog was getting it done where I wasn't. And that's why she chose to stick with them. And it broke my heart, because to get it done wasn't what this dog should be going through at 15 years old. That should not be what's happening. So yeah, so she went somewhere else, and then I found out about a year, I think it's a year later, just through Facebook, that the dog had passed, and I never seen her after that, and it broke my heart. I felt like, we talk about loyalty.
Yeah.
And I really felt like, really? For 15 years, I've been your dog's groomer.
And now you're just
And that's it.
walking away.
And that's it. And I mean, I think there might have been some other things, but they were a little more political. Which is too bad.
Well, that was just
because it really should be,
too.
It should be about
a lot of
that. It should be about your pets. It shouldn't be about your personal feeling. But whatever. Anyways, I'm sorry, I got a little choked up there.
Love it so much.
These dogs become our dogs, right?
Yeah.
They're cats. When we see them,
They really do. Yeah.
I seen that dog once a month since it was 12 weeks old, right?
Yeah.
For 15 years.
That's
insane.
And it was heartbreaking.
It is.
It's really fucking heartbreaking.
We should probably get done with our chatting.
Done.
And do the tarot.
Do tarot pull? Okay. So I already pulled the card. We're going to tarot. We pulled the card. It is the death card. No panicking, please. So the death card is about endings, change, transition, development, rebirth, arrival, letting go, spiritual transformation, and upheaval. So it's not always a horrible card. People think death, somebody's going to die, I'm going to die.
Calling it the death card is kind of scary.
Yeah, but that's not really, it's not about, a literal physical dying. Not that, you might die. I'm just saying that is not what the card is about. It's about this dying and something else being born.
Yeah.
And changes. So I think it fits pretty well. We're doing Mabon. This is our Mabon episode. So this is the time of year when we leverage our personal skills and talents to benefit our larger community. And that came from this book right here, the Sabbath's Almanac. Llewellyn. This was 2024's version. I do love if you haven't checked out Llewellyn, they have a vast amount of books and tarot decks. Everything. All the books are there. So Mabon is the second harvest, and we're also going to talk a little bit about the upcoming holiday season. So, the calm of the harvest time versus the chaos of, this upcoming busy season, right?
Yeah.
Because right now we're on kind of a slow period, back to school, end of summer. It kind of slows down, and then it's going to pick up.
Yep.
It's going to pick up, and then before you know it,
It's going to pick up, and then we're going to want to die.
Before you know it, we're at Halloween, and then it's total chaos, because everybody's got to get in before Thanksgiving, and they got to get in because all the family's coming, and then they got to get in before Christmas, and then and then they
just sounds chaotic, and it's exhausting. I don't even all the time. It's exhausting.
Yeah. So this, we're talking about the change, right? We're talking about letting go and the transition.
Kind of perfect for the tarot.
The transition to the next season.
Yeah.
So, for someone who is autistic, transitions are usually pretty hard for me. But I gotta say, with the Sabbats and you like going by the Sabbats, it makes it a lot more comforting to like see it in that light. And I don't struggle as much with the seasonal transitions as much as I used to. I do physically because I can't help that, but it like the actual mental transition from one to the other is not as hard. Because it used to be as soon as fall started and we had one night at 50 degrees, I'm like, it's fall. I can't wear shorts anymore. I'm done. And then I'd end up roasting because it's fall. But now it's a lot more. I can go by the Sabbats and I'm like, all right, we're in our second harvest. So yeah, it's cooling down, but we still have more to it. Like
Still have they call it Indian summer. So
Yeah.
we'll get a little while of where it's kind of cool and maybe even like maybe cold even for like like sweatshirt weather.
in some
And then
times.
all of a sudden we'll get these really warm days for a while and for a little brief time, and that's what
It's also like we have that it'll be it'll also this is the time of year when it starts being like cold at night and then hot as balls in the afternoon. It's like just decide.
Yeah,
Just
I'm
decide.
I'm hot and cold all
Mhm.
night long. So my sleep is horrible. I don't sleep well, but I'm constantly ripping the covers off, pulling the covers off, ripping the covers off, and like within like a minute, like I'll feel really really cold. I'll pull the covers up around me, and 60 seconds later,
Like,
I like to cuddle with my husband in bed, but also I hate cuddling with my husband in bed because it's like a constant. I'm like, I'm hot, I'm cold, I'm hot, I'm cold.
we have a new couch, so it's got a little more space in it. But he'll be in the corner, and I can lay next to him and like cuddle with him there, and that's better than in the bed. Because I'm just so hot and cold in the bed that it's like, I'll lay on it for like a minute, and then it's like, oh God, get away.
Yeah, we can't cuddle on our couch. Yeah, well, because it's the two seats and then there's like the middle thing. Yeah. Now, honestly, I'm probably gonna try to convince him to do a new couch for our Christmas gift this year. We do like a joint Christmas gift every year so that we can do something bigger. Last year it was was it the bed? No, last year was a dishwasher, which was more for him than for me. But now I don't have to hear him complain about dishes all the time, so I also enjoy it. Because Stephanie doesn't like to do dishes. Sorry, I totally got distracted.
So this part of September, Virgo season, and it's ruled by Mercury, which we're looking at like order, precision, efficiency, and service, which I think is very important in our grooming world. So I did the timeline. So let's see, making magic in a quiet season. So we're going to redefine abundance. So it's not just about money. It's about time, space, clarity, rest. Embracing the slow season is sacred, not scary. Now we talked about this when we did the llamas.
Yeah.
Too. So the first harvest.
Yeah.
Because it really is that time of reflection, clarity, and moving in maybe they'll be the same direction, maybe a different direction, but it's about like looking at those things and
I think
embracing.
it's what is really important to me on this is it's not just about abundance of money. It's like you have more time, you have more time to rest, like you have more space, you don't have to, be you're not piling up dogs like crazy. It's a good time. Yeah.
You're not doing that anytime. I mean, I would love to see all the groomers get to a place where they can schedule a comfortable amount of dogs that they can survive and thrive without killing themselves and have flex space, have that flex time.
I agree.
I've been lucky enough that my husband's job it can carry us. Not that I don't have to work, because I do have to work. I still have to contribute, but I've been able to be very flexible in my scheduling. And
the same way, like,
John can cover our bills. And so, yeah, I do still have to work, but I have a lot more flexibility, which is, I am very lucky. But I also have to give up 2 hours a day of him driving. So there's sacrifice as well.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Sacrifice is definitely a part of it.
I get to see him for basically the first time every morning or every day is when he gets home at like 6:30 at night. And then we have to go to bed by like 9:30.
It's funny. Somebody posted a while back in a Facebook group, or maybe it was just on their page, and they're my friends, so it popped up in my feed about being a husband's wife. I can't remember exactly how it's worded, but it's just that, I want to be with my husband. Like, I want to spend, like all the things that you and I do, I also want to do them with him. It's not always possible, but I want to. Like, I want to include him. And it's not always his cup of tea, but in my head, that I want to be with him. I want to be with him all the time.
I had to learn to, because of the way our schedules work, we both have, jobs. We both travel quite a bit for work. Like, I used to be very like codependent on him, where I'm like, I want you here all the time. And I still do. I would prefer that he was just right, like at my side, just glued to my hip constantly. But it's just not a possibility. And also, he needs time to himself. So I had to kind of like get used to finding other ways to get like to enjoy myself without him. I had to, I guess, like, I think of the way I think of like love is you can have all sorts of different loves. And so, like, I have my husband who I love as my husband, but then I have all of my friends who I also love, and they also have different, like, they're all important for different things. I can't rely on John to be my person all of the time. And so I've found people for different things. And, for the longest time, I didn't really believe in community because I didn't really have much of one when I was younger. But like, and I was raised in that, like, gotta pull yourself up by your bootstraps and take care of yourself only. And the more I've like learned about how the world works, I'm like, no, actually community is where we're supposed to be. As humans, we are supposed to have community. Like, yeah, I don't particularly love spending all of my time with humans, but like I still
Not what it means, right? Like, community doesn't mean y'all cohabitate.
Constantly,
y'all have to live together 24/7.
Yeah. So at this point, I would love a commune for just me and my friends.
No, I think of that all the time too. If I had an island, who
Yeah.
would I invite?
But yeah, I mean, you need community. Like, you can't do it all by yourself. It was funny, actually. I saw a TikTok yesterday, and I think it was someone from Korea, and they were talking about they're like, the reason that Korea has such a low birth rate right now, they're like, I think it's partially, a good part of it is the military, because men
have to join the military there, like, unless you're physically unable. And so if you don't go to college, you have to go within like 6 months of turning 18. And so he's like, so there's not really a whole lot of time to do the marriage and the kids and all that. And I'm like, sir, you haven't been to the US. And then he's like, and then they don't have, if they do manage to have time to get the marriage and have the kids, then the wife is there taking care of the baby all by themselves. And I'm like, that's the US in a nutshell. I mean, I agree with him that a woman should not have to take care of everything by herself. But I was just like, their norm is community. I mean, even their streets are so fucking clean. It was amazing. Like I'm like, I swear I could lick the sidewalk here. And the reason you could, if you watch people, if they see garbage on the ground, they pick it up. And they don't have garbage cans everywhere. There's very few like public garbage cans. They just carry it with them.
Videos of like school kids where part of, they get their lunches out and then they all clean. They don't have the custodian that comes in and picks up after them. They clean each kid, and they're little kids, but it's like, and it's not about making these kids work. It's about teaching them that
to take care of yourself,
the place
that they live.
Yeah, that's what we're teaching them. I don't know. I think this country has gotten so.
We've completely lost community.
We're so enamored with this idea that we can't possibly be like anybody else because we're so much better than every other country. And we shit on other countries for doing things. Like we laughed at them, like, oh, that's or we criticize them. Oh, I can't believe you do that. And yet, look at us. We got another fucking mass shooting of babies. Fucking babies. Don't give me your thoughts and prayers. These kids were praying. They were in mass praying in their schools, and they were shot.
Yeah.
And we're never going to address it. This country will not address it. They will not address these issues.
I barely found out about it. Like, actually, John was the one that told me because he heard it on NPR when he was driving for his 2 hours.
Right. Like I seen yesterday, I seen some stuff, so I knew it happened. And then I looked for some stuff. And then today on the radio, the radio station, they were talking a little bit about it. But it's like, another fucking
and it's become one of those things where we're just so used to it almost.
And it's disgusting.
Yeah.
And that's what we shouldn't be used to. We shouldn't be accepted.
No, we shouldn't.
We should not accept it.
No. And we shouldn't be used to the fact that, so like, I follow this one teacher on TikTok, and she was talking about it. Younger, in like, I think she's technically Gen Z, who's in like their 20s now. So, but she's like, so she's like, this is horrible, but I hate to say it. I have been doing these drills since I was a kid. Like, I have had to do shooting drills since I was a kid, and now I do it with my students. She's like, I have to do that every year. She's like, it doesn't even faze me anymore.
I remember fire drills.
Oh yeah,
and I remember tornado drills.
Tornado drills. You go into the hallway and
right. But the reality is that
I didn't even have shooter drills.
I never feared an actual fire.
No.
I never feared an actual tornado. Not because you have the drills.
It's not something that happens frequently.
But it wasn't something that, like, buildings didn't just burst into flames.
Yeah.
Periodically. Like, oh, shit, now that's a reason. Oh, my God, now that didn't happen. And we didn't have tornadoes coming through. Even seasonally, we don't get tornadoes.
Yeah.
Regular, although we kind of do.
I mean,
but
they
yeah,
have to,
this active shooter drill. It's like
That's a real fear.
yeah.
we just watched the documentary about the Vegas shoot.
No, the concert, yeah. What was it, like Trace Adkins or something? No. Jason Aldean, that asshole.
Stage, they showed that. I was like, what a
No,
fucking,
Trace Adkins is better than that.
what a fucking pussy went.
He just ran off the
Didn't
stage.
say anything to anybody. Didn't say there's gunfire. Take cover. Just fucking
Shooter,
yeah,
yells shooter.
yeah. Just
You literally have a microphone in your hand, asshole.
Stage. Like, oh, what?
I mean,
I will say, like, yes, he was being a pussy, but also, I can't say that I would be better in that situation.
oh,
but
I just like to point that out because I know some of these people, some of these stars get on soapboxes and preach about things, and yeah, let's remember where you were,
Yeah.
how you behave.
So,
Anyways, off on that tangent.
yeah, we totally went
All
on a
right.
tangent again.
Okay, so I got letting go ritual, and I think we talked a little bit about this during last.
Oh,
sorry, I did have a question. So, when they're ruled by Mercury, you said.
Don't ask me this question because I don't know. I have heard that before.
Okay, so we don't know what ruled by. Just like, what does ruled by Mercury mean?
It's where the planets are aligned.
Yeah. Like, what does Mercury stand for?
You know what? I should have known you were going to. I am doing some. I'm trying to educate myself. I'm not good at astrology.
Yeah.
Stuff yet. But I do have some books, and I am trying to educate myself more and more.
We'll figure that out.
We will figure it out by the time we get to our astrology. Like, we have it coming up.
Yeah, we do.
We're going to know more.
Yeah.
So we're going to make sure we're better versed at that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now that you mentioned that, I probably shouldn't have even put that in there because, I'm not equipped to explain it.
That is fine, though. But now we know that we have to look that up.
We'd love to learn more.
Yeah, we would love to learn more.
Because the only thing I know about Mercury is when it's in retrograde.
When we're going backwards. All right, letting go rituals. Again, I think we talked about this in Llamas. Write and burn or shred what you're done with. So maybe clients, like in my case, I'm letting go of some clients.
Are you doing some rituals for that?
Not really rituals, but I'm having conversations with myself to bring myself to be at peace.
Okay.
With that.
I mean,
So,
that could be a ritual.
Could be a ritual.
It's a sort of ritual, yeah.
It could be. Yeah, it's my own ritual. So I'm at peace with that. I'm letting this. So for instance, now I asked my husband when we were out of town, and I had somebody reach out to me about grooming. And in my grooming notes on my phone, it just said need help, which means I
Yeah.
help. So I want to know, why do I need help? Well, I don't have my cards with me, so I reach out to my husband. Hey, can you check this card? Well, he didn't really know what I was asking, so he basically just said, well, this is what it says. And it just says, I did this, sand help. Okay. So I went ahead and I rebooked this cat. Well, then when I got home and pulled the card, the groom 4 is where I had all the notes about swatty, pissy, growly. So I showed it to him. I said, it's not a big deal. I booked the cat. We did the cat. He was actually okay this time.
Yeah.
I needed help, but he wasn't overly ornery. But I did say, so these would be the notes that I would be looking for to determine whether or not I'm going to continue to groom this cat. So anyways, so I'm looking at those things, and as which animals, which cats am I going to continue to work with, and which ones I'm going to let go of?
Yeah.
Running about habits or what's our old ideas that no longer work for us, that no longer suit us. You need to be looking at those and letting go of some of them.
Yeah. Those intrusive thoughts, those ones especially, did you get rid of those?
Yep.
You don't need those.
Cleaning our tools with intention. Sometimes I go through and it's so mindless, and maybe slow down and take the time to clean our tools with more intention.
Yeah. scrubbed all of my paw mats yesterday. So we rinse them down. If something gets on them, we clean it at that time. But we try to do once a week where we like scrub them because they don't absorb things, so it just sticks on top. So, but it hadn't been done in a couple weeks because traveling and then like Meg was also like they were traveling, and before that they were like overloaded for a couple weeks because they were trying to make money before.
Up doing just kind of that light surface clean all the time. We're always doing that, but we're not always taking the time to do the really.
But yeah, it was really nice to wash away all of that dirt and grime. I mean, it wasn't that bad, but like it was satisfying. I could tell the difference. Even like I don't know if a normal person could, but I could tell. And I'm like, they're so much better. They kind of had like not a bad smell, but just not a good smell to them. And now they all smell like Dawn, like clean Dawn, because that's what I used to wash them.
That's when you should be using Dawn is for cleaning, not your pets.
Yes.
We have our Dawn like hidden behind all the stuff because we're like, we don't use that on dogs.
Their incense, etc. So I do that.
Yeah.
Not as much with sound, but with incense. I love my incense. I usually burn at least one a day.
Yeah.
So that's my morning part of my morning ritual. You know, I light an incense, get my coffee.
Yeah.
Tarot cards, maybe whatever it is. You know, is part of my morning ritual. But incense is part of my morning.
Yeah.
Raise prices. Okay, I want to talk about this one. This comes up all the time. How often should we raise our prices? You should probably raise your prices every year.
Yeah.
Or every other year at least. Like I haven't raised my prices. Is ridiculous, but don't do what I do, right?
Do it now.
I am raising my prices, right? So raise your prices. But when? What time of year should you raise your prices? I suggest this time of year.
Yeah.
Before your holidays.
A lot of us fall into doing it after the holidays. But I agree. I think this time of year is a perfect time. So you're about to start that busy season and like you're already going to be exhausted. You might as well be making the money that you need. So
I suggest
this is a great time.
You know, right in this kind of lullish time where you're not super busy, but you're going to get there. This is when you start implementing. And you know what? If you do it every year, I don't know, do $1. You could do a percentage if you want to do a percentage, or even $1 a year, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Raise your prices consistently. Evaluate policies and practices. Again, this is something I'm doing. You know, I'm going over not as much my policies. My policies aren't going to change much, but just my practices. I'm not going to be doing these feisty cats anymore. And how I do. I'm working on a new schedule. To when so that I making sure that when I do need help, I have help. And then I'm trying to schedule the tasks that I need help with, so that I'm not killing myself once a month.
Yeah.
Actually, we'll try to sprint them out and stuff. So, working on that.
Yeah.
With schedules too, like it might be a good time to reevaluate like how many days you're working. Especially if you tend to have dogs very spread out, maybe squish them down into a couple days instead of, 3 dogs every day for 7 days,
For instance, if you know your pets, if you know your clients, don't schedule all your feisty animals for the same day. Break them up. Like, I know it can be tempting to let's just get all the naughty ones out of the way. But the reality is as the cycles go, this is what I'm finding personally, is as our cycles go, I hit these walls. And I'm going to hit this wall, every few months, I'm going to hit this kind of a dull that's just the world, the moon, everything that is affected. I'm just going to naturally hit this kind of plateau. And if I have all my naughty animals scheduled during that time, this is what happens to me.
Yeah.
Then I'm like, I want to quit. I want to quit. I want to quit. I want to quit. And it's only because somehow I've managed to schedule all my naughty animals, and now it's come to that place where now they're all here at this time when I'm at a low point.
Mm-hmm.
Learn who you are.
Maybe have a one naughty one per day. Stuff like that.
Or sandwich those feisty ones with the ones that are like really good that you really enjoy.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's a huge thing. You know,
we did this before when Meg was, for a long time, they would basically be working 7 days a week, but it wasn't a full day every day. But then, like,
they started to get busy, and it was like they were ending up with full days every day. And I'm like, you can't do this anymore. Yeah. And I put you've got 4 days of grooming. That's it. I mean, I didn't just come up with that randomly. I did talk to them about it, and we figured that out. But I was like, you have to limit yourself. That's one nice thing about having a business partner, is that we can do that to each other. They will tell me like, hey, you're being ridiculous. So sometimes, yeah, there's going to be arguments about that, but we work it out because we have to take care of each other. And that's the community thing. Make sure you're taking care of the people that you work with. And you don't have to, you have to be mom, but just making sure they're okay, checking in with them, asking if they need help, and maybe bringing up like, hey, maybe you should, schedule some days different, if they're struggling with something.
This is the part I like about having a deep cleaning day, doing your daily chores with intention.
You talked about doing an energetic reset with sound.
You could think of, so when I'm doing my deep cleaning, I have to turn on my cleaning music. And so it's kind of like that. I'm doing a little energetic reset that way.
Say that's true too, because I do like to listen to music when I'm doing
my cleaning music.
Yeah.
I mean,
right now, all of my music is just the new Stray Kids album. But normally I have playlists.
K-pop Demon Hunters, by the way. Watched it.
Did you like it?
I did like it. It was good.
Isn't it cute?
It is very cute. It's got me thinking because, I told you the grandkids want to be characters.
Rumi and
Zoe. Zoe is who they're going to be. And I said, well, who's going to be Mira? And then as it turns out, one of their cousins here wants to be Mira. And she said, I just assumed she'd want to be Rumi, but she wants to be Mira. And she said, I think it's because of the hair. And it's like, whatever. So I thought, well, there you go. We'll be spread out. There's Mira.
I would really like to do my hair like Rumi. I feel like that would be fun.
Yeah. And my daughter's like, well, you could be Rumi.
Derby. For sure.
I've already ordered.
What's your husband gonna be?
He's just gonna be a fan, but I ordered him a legit a purple sweatshirt with the logo.
That is awesome.
Yeah, and I said, how do you feel about purple? He's out there.
All right. He's awesome.
Whatever, yeah.
We've got some awesome husbands.
So he's gonna be a fan.
He's gonna jump up and down and act all Delulu and
do whatever he needs to do. He's gonna be a cool papa.
He's gotta be Delulu.
Yeah. I've got my
all the fans are Delulu.
I have ears to put on the foot.
Oh.
And then I actually bought a Susie.
Oh, nice.
To pin to my head too. So yeah, so if it all works out, I got plans.
That's exciting.
Yeah. So that's Halloween this year. Let's see. Reorganizing is magical realignment. This again goes into when we're policy or even just rearranging or reorganizing our salon. And
something about like reorganizing, just like even just a little area, just really changes the room for me. Even just like even if I put it back the way it was supposed to be, just like neatening it up, I'll wipe things down, it's so nice. Crystals.
I'll throw one in the drawer. Throw one in each of the drawers.
Yeah.
Yes. Put them on all your windowsills like me. We have them all along the turtle tank too. Yeah.
What do you call that? My toolbox.
Yeah,
Top of the toolbox. I
yeah.
have crystals there. Yeah, so do that.
We have like geode pieces that I just kind of like threw out just for pretty. And I had some kids come in yesterday, and the boy was very, very blunt, very sweet, but also very blunt. And he was like, he came in and he was hungry, I guess, because they were going to lunch afterwards. But it was 4 dachshunds. But 3 of them were just getting nail trims. So I had to do the nail trims and then the haircut. And he comes in with the 2 of them, and mom, or I think it's grandma actually, has the other 2. And he's like, so once you have these, we can go, right? And I'm like, well, I think these 3 need nail trims. So we'll do these first, but I'll be quick. Grandma was so mad at him about it. But then like they were sitting there and he was looking at it and he's like, how much is this? And I was like, just have it. It's fine. So we got a little piece of geode, and him and I think it's his sister. She's 3. She made sure to tell me that she's 3. And she was they were just like so excited over this little rock. I'm like, yeah, I got it from Racine Zoo. I just cracked it open.
Oh, it's cool. I have I call it my rosary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just the chakra crystals on a string, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's my rosary. And it's in my bag, and I pretty much always have it with me or in my bag. So I would pull it out when the girls were little.
Yeah.
And they'd start to fuss, and then they would play with them, right? And they liked it. So I ended up buying each one of them their own. So for a while, I was, I would buy them crystals, and I would send them these crystals or give them to them. And well, then the youngest decided that throwing was a fun thing to do. So my daughter's like, yeah, no more crystals because she throws them.
Until she's older, at least.
Yeah, okay. And no, as she's getting older, she's got. Just the one with the big feelings.
Yeah, and once she gets a hold on those big feelings,
that's
she'll be
what
okay.
She's got to get a hold of the big feelings.
Yeah. No crystals when you have big feelings, though crystals can be helpful for those big feelings if you don't throw them. Yeah. I mean, it depends on where you're throwing it too, I guess.
Offerings and food magic: bake something, bread, dog treats with intention, make a gratitude to your water, share with coworkers, clients, or just for yourself. Again, there's that much of the community.
That community sharing, yes.
I like to make teas, like herbal teas. So a lot of times when I'm like sometimes I just need a little ritual to do, and I'll put together teas. I love just like giving those out. If anybody ever wants a tea, I can't promise that it will come in a timely fashion. You're not getting special orders, but if you do want herbal teas, let me know, because I'll keep you on my list of people that I give it to.
I don't drink a lot of hot tea.
Yeah.
I mean, I like hot tea, and I wanted to, like, there's always that part, and we talked about, like, I want to be a gardener, I want to do, but it's just not me. And I want to like tea, right? Like, I want to drink a cup of tea before bed, maybe I'll sleep, but, it's just, but I like cold tea.
Yeah.
I like iced tea, unsweet iced tea. But what I do is I'll buy, like, just the tea bags, and then I'll, make the tea and then cool it.
Mm-hmm.
That's my tea, right? So I have a couple flavors that I found that I really like to make cold, because not all teas are good cold, right?
No.
And I'm discovering that. Like, I'll get a tea and it's like, oh, this is funky. Like, this is not you don't drink this one cold.
Yeah.
But I have a couple that I really like to cool and drink. And the number one is licorice.
Yeah.
I found a licorice tea, but I can't find it all the time.
Yeah.
Right? It's like hit and miss at the store. Who's got it?
That
and
sounds terrible.
If they have it,
But
yes,
I hate licorice.
love it. Oh my god, I love it.
Like
so that
Rumplemans.
is my favorite
Yeah.
to drink cold is a licorice tea.
I really like plum tea cold. So I found it while I was in Korea. Actually, they use it more as like a digestive. And so like every restaurant had a little thing that you could get some tea, get some plum tea. And it was cold. And it was so good. And it like because of the traveling and the stress, when I got there, my stomach was just I'm like, I can't eat anything. Like I was nauseous. So like we went to our first dinner and we were having Korean barbecue and I'm like, oh, I really want to, but like I can't. So she brought me plum tea and just like immediate feeling better. And so now I love plum tea.
Yeah, so that's what I like, cold tea. I don't really do the hot tea.
Yeah.
A friend of mine, we were talking about doing kind of a meeting. You know, I'm gonna right doing a meeting like at midnight and calling it our coven.
Yeah.
And I thought that might be kind of cool. Although that's usually the time when I'm actually asleep. I usually wake up about 1:30, and then I have problems from 1:30 on.
Yeah.
Sleep.
For me, it's like 2:00.
Yeah, but I'm usually asleep at midnight. But yeah, I thought, oh, that would be cool. And then I thought, oh, we could have tea. I like tea. Why do I think I want to push tea when I don't even like tea?
Yeah.
All right, business magic. Streamline systems.
Yeah.
You know, make things work better. Work smarter, not harder.
And make them work for you.
Make them work, right, exactly. So, this is something else. So, especially coming off a show. So, we always see, if we work in the booth, so we always see the people comment, oh, do you have this? Do you have that? Because they just heard about this product or this tool in a class, and now they want it, which I think is phenomenal, right? Try something new. But I also think that just because it works for this person
doesn't mean it's going to work
for you, or you're going to like it.
Yeah.
You know, because I've had plenty of, I used to, every class I'd go to, I'd end up buying something, whether it was a shampoo or some kind of product or some kind of tool, I would end up buying. And like, if it was a shampoo, I'd buy the gallon. And then I'd be like, I'm not like this. I don't like how it smells. I don't like how it makes the coat feel. I don't like it. I don't feel,
Well, and products can also
be dependent on your water and stuff like that too.
Or the dogs, you know, who knows? You know, maybe they choose this product because they do a lot of collies. I don't do any collies.
Yeah.
Right. So it's not giving me the same results on my little Shih Tzus that it gave to them for their collies. So keep that in mind, that it's what works for someone else might not work for you. However, it is good to be open to trying new things.
I always, because I'm always at the register that has the handles for the dryers. So we have three different brands, and it's always like, oh, what's the difference? And I'm like, really? The difference is what feels best to you. I'm like, we have them there so that they can feel them. Try holding it, see how it feels. But I also have to tell them, I'm like, and just remember, you're not used to holding it like this. So give yourself time to get used to it, because it is gonna, like, holding this way versus this way, you're not used to using your muscles that way. So you got to build up that muscle memory first, and then it will start helping you. Because I've talked to a lot of people that'll be like, oh, I tried it, but it just hurt. And I'm like, but did you really give it time? Like, did you try it for a week, or did you try it for one dog?
What if you don't do that many dogs? It's going to take longer to build that up. Or cats, for like me.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to take, if you're working in a busy salon and you commit yourself to using it on every dog, you're going to build up your muscles for it sooner. Whereas if you're, only doing, 3 days a week, 4 days a week, 4 dogs or something like that. You're doing a very low volume.
Yeah.
To build that up. So yeah, that's a very good. Yeah, very good point.
So,
but it is good to kind of change up the way that you do things. Streamlining systems. I love streamlining systems. It's my favorite thing. I have quite a few classes about creating systems. I also like to streamline them and make them as efficient as possible. Me and John have a thing for efficiency. We really like to be efficient. And that's what his job is, really, is making the business run efficiently. Like, he does all of the systems and stuff. He puts those together. Like, they just created a system so that they just have to scan things at their, I keep calling it their factory. I don't know what to call it, but where they're making all of the products, they just streamlined it so that they have a scan code on each product as it goes through the line of what it needs to do. And so they scan it at each one. So they know exactly how much is being made at what point in the process at any time. They just look at their little app and they're like, okay, so we've got these coming. And yeah, that's the kind of shit we like to do. But yeah, just reevaluate what you're doing. If you have a certain process for something, maybe it felt clunky recently and you're like, maybe we should reevaluate that. But also just, like, look at those processes and go, is this working the best way?
It's good for us mentally too if we change things physically. When we get in those, because that's part of getting in the rut, we just do the same. Well, it works. But so would this. This would work too.
Yeah.
If it's the same thing over and over again, we're eventually going to get tired of it.
And mentally, you're going to be, and two, that's when you start to lose focus or, like you're not paying attention. And usually that's when people get bitter.
Yep.
You get so used to.
Yeah, you just kind of get into the motions and then you forget that.
You forget where you're at.
Yeah, you forget where you're at almost.
Yeah. Have you ever been driving? Yeah, you know exactly where I'm going. And all of a sudden you're like, where the fuck am I?
Yeah.
Like I missed my exit or I missed my turn. And I think, how did I get here?
Yeah.
And I don't even realize, like I feel like, oh my God, did I kill anybody along the way? And how was I?
No, like, when I'm like, I would do it on a regular basis, the same route every time. And it got to like where I would just like do I'd be halfway through my drive and be like, when did I start driving? I hope I didn't kill anyone.
I was driving fine, but like I was just not I wasn't fully attentive. So yeah, having that change up does help to kind of bring you back into that, kind of grounds you. Yeah.
Review sales, marketing, and customer feedback. So, how are you doing sales wise? What's your marketing? Do you have to change up your marketing? I'm not good at marketing, right? Like I'm not good at, I take pictures of all my cats and I post them on my Facebook, but even that, I do the same cats.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, here's this one again. Here's this one again. Here's this one again.
Yeah.
Right. And that's what's going to happen when you have when you close your book and you're not taking your customers.
But maybe you need to do a change up in the way that you do it.
Your backdrops. And this is something I just switched out my backdrop yesterday. Because I pulled the beach. I have a beach backdrop and I pulled that one down, but it's like I don't really have it's not fall.
Yeah.
So I don't want to put up fall. Certainly not Halloween. So I'm not going to put that one up. Like, what am I? Well,
year round, Halloween, all the time.
I have this giant one Nancy gave me. I mean, it's huge. It could fit on like a wall, like an entire wall of like a graveyard Halloween scene. And I keep thinking it's really too big to be my backdrop. But where could I put it? Because it's kind of cool. But yes. But I'm thinking about my backdrops, and I'm also thinking about every year I have this summer backdrop. Every year I have this spring backdrop.
Change up that.
But it's like I don't really want to keep buying.
Yeah.
Like we need like an exchange group where we can.
That would be cool.
Yeah, like even in the like our Wisconsin
You should
group,
totally do that.
have
Or even
where-
just the Racine group.
or even just the Racine group. if we
Like
get-
between you and Clover, I bet Clover Pup would
they've
do
got
it.
tons of stuff.
And me,
I don't have a lot, but I want to change it.
yeah.
You know, and I think that would be a good
Well,
way to
and
switch
you know,
it
one of
up.
us could definitely make use of yours.
Right, and that's what I'm thinking. Like we should look into that. Like
Yeah,
you know,
let's do that.
sharing with somebody.
Oh, sorry, Nip. I
All right, customer
just get excited.
customer feedback. You know, do you get customer feedback?
Yeah.
Are you paying attention to the customer feedback? And are you implementing what you're, and I was just thinking, did you fill out your feedback form?
No.
Good. When you do, because I just realized that I forgot to mention stuff still not scanning.
Yeah.
Put that in the feedback because
Yeah.
that needs we really need to address
So many
that.
things we're not scanning.
Oh yeah. And so much was coming up just bad. Like Ron, I told you about the muzzle thing. But anyways, put that in your feed. I did mine yesterday and I forgot to put that in there.
Okay.
So.
I'll make sure that's in my feedback form. Yeah, if you don't already get feedback, this is a good time to start
like setting something up for that. Whether you do, how do you like ask for reviews or anything? No.
I don't.
Okay. We have, because I was asking because you do things without a system. We have Mogo, so we have it set up so that it automatically sends like, hey, give us a review. How did you like your appointment? And then
if you don't have that set up, it might be a good time to set that up.
Yeah, looking into something like that.
You might not need it so much because if you're not gonna take new clients.
Right. I did a few times like early, like when I would get new clients, I would send them a message, or if I had one that might have been like they were really concerned about how they would behave, or they were getting a shaved that they've never been shaved before, whatever. I do sometimes will send a message and just say, hey, how's
yeah. I'm redoing all of my social, like re-evaluating all my social media, because like I have like the MGA side where it's more taking care of, or it's more about our students and our clients and recruitment, where the other side I'm trying to do more, like I have my personal stuff, but I use it more for like the industry side. So I'm trying to I'm going through all of my social medias and checking my profiles and making sure they all line up. And I went through my link tree to make sure my link tree is up to date. Like I'm doing that kind of stuff so that everything is more cohesive. So that's another thing that people can be doing to kind of just reevaluating that for, the marketing and stuff, reevaluating how you're marketing as well.
which can kind of go into plan and organize the weeks and months ahead.
Yeah.
I had kind of learned how to schedule posts on Facebook.
Yeah.
And I think I did it like once and then I never did it again. So I'm bad. My marketing, like I said, is pretty much non-existent. And I'm at the point where I don't, do my marketing too.
Yeah, you don't
I'm not necessarily. I don't necessarily need to market, or at this point want to, right?
Yeah.
Because I don't really know where I'm at with customers right now. So I'm trying to.
And I would also like to point out that you can market the way that you want to and what works for you. Yeah, that's something that I have learned over the last couple years is I can't do social media like the average person. I don't like having my face in picture. I don't like my face in there. And it's nothing like I'm fine with my face. I just don't like to be in pictures. I do have body dysmorphia. And it's not so much that I don't like my body. It's just that when I look in the mirror, it's not what I have in my head, but what I look like, or look at the camera. And so I don't like to have that. I don't like to be in videos. I don't mind doing lives, but I don't like to be like, I don't like to make videos are just exhausting for me. And I've actually been using ChatGPT to find ways to do it that work for me. So like if you look at the MGA page, it's a lot of like quote graphics because the graphics catch their attention, but I don't have to put a picture or me, like it's just the quote. And that catches the attention, and then they can read the thing that I wrote in the caption, which is what I'm really good at, is the writing part. So I do that there, and then like my page, you see I have like my different things that I do, and a lot of it is like quote graphics that I make. Or Fridays I do the groomer of the week. Thank you. But like the graphic itself is not that special. I steal one of their pictures and try to steal a logo. Though sometimes it can be hard because some people forget to use their logos a lot. I can't, well, I found yours. It was online. I don't think the post has went out yet, but one of the people that I have coming up, I could not find their logo. And I messaged them and I was like, hey, do you have a logo for your business? And they're like, oh yeah, it's this. And I'm like, oh, okay, I've just never seen it. So I was like thinking about it. So they'll realize when the post comes up and they're like, hey. Yeah, but you know, you can set up your marketing and your social media to work for you. I've started working on my TikTok, and most of it is random videos of my animals that there's like an auto cut feature. So it picks music and it cuts the video to make it like work with the music. I don't have to do shit for that. I don't want to edit. That's the biggest thing. I'm too lazy to edit these videos. Because it just takes so much work for me. Eventually I'm going to learn how to, but for now I can work on my TikTok by doing mostly it's like videos of my animals, videos of animals here. Yesterday I made one where it's just like pictures of my house, the dollhouse that I'm working on, and it's a bunch of those pictures. Just to show that off. You don't have to be in front of the camera all the time.
Yeah, I wouldn't be good at that. The other thing about the like weeks and months ahead isn't just your marketing, but also just planning your weeks and months ahead. Grooming. Giving yourself flex days, give yourself an extra day off coming up, because remember, it is going to get busy. You might be slow now and you might be thinking, oh, I'll rest now because it's slow. Give yourself, give yourself the day that, one of the days after Thanksgiving, make sure give yourself an extra day off that week.
I love taking Black Friday off. You know why? Because I don't want to leave my house on Black Friday. Here, I don't mind it so much, but when I was mobile, I'm like, I hate working Black Friday. Especially because I was in like the Gurney area. I'm like, no, I don't want to be driving around this freaking mall. I'm not going shopping, but I don't want to deal with it. I deal with all the traffic.
Starting late one day, give yourself some late start days. Sleep in. Well, and add a second cup of coffee.
We talked about like schedules.
You can reevaluate. Also, work a schedule that works for you. If you're in, I had a friend one time that they posted. They're like, it'd be really cool if there was a grooming shop that was open late at night. And I was like, yeah, if you're a nighttime person, there is totally people who need nighttime groomers.
Just make sure you're safe.
Yeah.
No, make sure you're safe.
Yeah. I mean, I probably wouldn't want to do it like mobile.
I wouldn't want to do it in my home.
Yeah, or at home, yeah. But like in a shop, like out here, I wouldn't have a problem here. I don't want to work late at night. But if that works for you, that there is always going to be, and maybe it'll take a little bit more work to get people to see it, but there's
offer one late day. Maybe one day instead of working 8 to 5, you work 3 to 10.
Yeah.
And
And maybe you just start it off like
Right.
that. And then eventually you can build to doing it where everything's later. Yeah. So, because there are people who, you know, they work at night and
I don't want to work after 5.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
not, that's,
but you can go to someone who does want to work after 5.
I had my rabbit yesterday and she comes at 6.
To be in waiting mode until 6.
Yes. And then I'm in waiting mode until 6.
Waiting
Yeah.
mode is the worst.
And then I'm done at 7. And it's like, we're usually crawling into bed before 9.
Yeah.
You know, anywhere between 8:30 and 9, we're crawling into bed. And yeah, it's just, I don't know. I just don't like it. But it works for her. It's one rabbit every 6-7 weeks.
Yeah.
Okay, I can do it.
I'm telling you.
Maybe.
Yeah, you know, maybe you don't want to.
When I go, you know what? I don't really want to work this
Yeah.
way, this term anymore.
For me, when I was mobile, I did best working starting my first dog at 7 a.m. No traffic, first of all. But also I would get done by 4 o'clock for the day. And well, I'd get done grooming by 4 o'clock. I'd have to clean the van. But that put me home before my husband. And so I could have some quiet time for myself. And then he'd come home all rowdy. You know, John's so rowdy. But I would have my quiet time. I could sit down and smoke, cuddle with my dog. And like I had the evening. And also the other thing was if I started early in the morning, my whole brain wasn't awake, which my brain, when it's all the way awake, can be obnoxious. And when you're by yourself in a van for that long, yeah, I ended up, because it was really easy for me to slip into like depression doing that, like when I was thinking so much, because I'd be thinking while I'm working. And so then I'm thinking about all these things that are like stressing me out. Like, well, or stupid things like, well, why did this person say that? And you go down that spiral. So I didn't like working like later in the day because then I would end up going down that spiral so easily. So
let's see, customer service, client care. You know, looking at, again, this is kind of goes back to systems and stuff too.
mm-hmm.
How are you focusing on your customer service? And how are you taking care of the people clients as well as the animal clients?
Yep.
Just looking at those things.
And that can be something even too, like looking at how long is it taking you to reply, that kind of stuff.
When I get in a funk,
are you at a point where you need a secretary?
I think it takes me longer to reply. When I was going through what I was going through a couple weeks ago, I dragged my feet because I felt so guilty and, you know, like bad. But it's like, you know, just it's got to do it. And that's why it helps to have the words to use and then use them. You know, as soon as they message, just respond.
Have something
Decent amount of time and just go, you know,
For me,
sorry, but I'm reevaluating. You just
ChatGPT is great.
Use ChatGPT.
Yeah.
ChatGPT helped me very much with
that helps me a lot with responding to people.
Me a lot with what I want.
Because a lot of times when I need to, like,
if I'm like dragging my feet on something, it's because I have to put the words together. Like replying to a message, I have to put the words together. And it's so mentally exhausting. Like it's a lot of work mentally for me to put those words together and get them out of my brain. I could think of them all day, but getting them out of my brain. So for me, it's so much easier to just be like, chat, like I need to respond to this. and then like I reread it, make sure it works, and then I can adjust it. But at least it's given me something to start with, and it gets me one step further, and I don't have to force myself as much.
Yeah, no, I like it, and you can rewrite it.
Yeah.
Say it like this, say it like that. Use
and, like-
cuss words. I haven't done that yet, but I think I might. That would just be fun. Use
and
more
like
profanity.
like the Glenrock page, I have a thing so it specifically
will respond in a specific voice, where it's a lot of like using puns and like that kind of stuff. So, and very pop oriented. And so I don't even have to think about like trying to make the response fun. You just be like, I need to tell them this, and it puts it into the words. Because responding to people can be a lot of work. It's mentally a lot of work, even if it doesn't seem like
So
that.
I agree. That's why we don't do it as much as we should.
Use the tools that you have.
Team building, development,
and sharpen
focus. So the thing that popped up when I was putting this out there is like, again, we just came off a show. We know groomers that will take their entire team to the shows and
pay for
them to do classes and pay for them to do specific classes. And that's, that's team building. And it's development. Like, especially if your salon is focused on, or maybe you're doodle heavy, right? Like you do a lot of doodles. And you want to market to the doodles. There's classes that are specifically designed marketing to doodles, right? Grooming doodles. Like there are actually groomers out there that are very specific on what they're teaching. So, maybe that's what you want to do.
Yeah.
And sharpening our focus. Just this is the goal.
This is also a good time to, if you have employees, give them feedback
so that they can prepare for when it's busier, so they can put that feedback into motion. It would be a good time if you have employees to have them give you feedback. Send them a feedback form. Be like, hey, I want to know how you've been feeling the last 6 months. Or how
Which can be daunting, especially if, as employees, we don't always feel comfortable giving feedback.
It can be
if
hard.
There's only two employees. How do you can't really be anonymous? It's hard to.
Yeah, it's hard to be anonymous. In which case, you have to make sure that you are ensuring them that they have the safety.
Yes,
this feedback form is not going to affect your employment. I legitimately want to know how I can be a better boss.
I think these feedback forms every time I've worked a show, and I honestly do feel like they're listening. I've never felt like they're just ignoring. I've always felt like they're listening. I don't always think they're able to fix all the things maybe that come up. Like we still have scanning issues, right? I don't know how they can fix that entirely, but I still feel like they always listen. I always put my name.
Yeah.
I put my name on, and I feel like if you want to question why I posted
that way you
can question me and then ask for further detail.
I think I've only once done it anonymously, and it was because I brought up an
individual.
Yeah, and it was a somewhat personal issue about an individual.
I remember.
But outside of that, I always put my name. Because like they do listen. I mean, I know that they do read them. They do listen. I don't know. Sometimes they don't. They can't fix everything, and sometimes it's just something that like they're like, well, I can't really change that right now. Right.
Still, I feel like, but I'm at that point in my life where I'm going to put my name on it. Mm-hmm. I've never felt like they still ask me back. They've never said, Brenda, we don't need you at the shows anymore. Now, maybe they won't ask me next year. I don't know. Like maybe they're letting me ride out this year. I don't know what's going to happen next year. I don't feel like that's the case, though. I feel like I do good work with them, and they see it and they appreciate it. Mm-hmm. So any little things that might not be good is we can work through it. Mm-hmm. We can work through it. It's there are some things that are just personalities. I'm not going to change mine. I'm not going to change someone else's.
And you got to learn to live
We're
with
just
it.
going to have to
Yeah,
learn to
you
live
know.
with it.
You got to learn to see people for who they are and not take it personally. It can be really hard.
Really bugged me this time around, and I think you and I talked about it. I didn't put it in the feedback form because there's no point.
Yeah.
Because this is I've been around for a year now with this company that I get it. This is who this person is. I don't like it. I don't appreciate it. I feel it's not okay. But I also feel like there's no point saying something because
Yep.
there's just no point.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, this is a good time. You can also do things that for team building that aren't grooming related.
Oh, absolutely.
It's good to do things outside of grooming. My favorite thing for team building is honestly escape rooms. Because it forces you to work as a team. But you can
Rogue.
You're gonna go rogue.
I would go rogue. I get the clue. I would send the rest of you on a wild goose chase. I'd let myself
Good to
out.
know.
I've never done an escape room.
Oh, we should do one. Maybe we can find one at Hershey.
Maybe.
We can get some.
We'll see. Let's see what I think we're gonna try to be squeezing a lot of stuff in
I know.
one day.
It's so exciting. But at some point we should definitely do one.
It does, yeah. There's one downtown. I haven't went to I've went to them once, but it was their old room. It was really good. And I really liked it. Was fun. So they give clues. Every escape room does this. They'll give you clues if you need them. Well, this one here downtown, they're lower budget, so they don't have all the technology. Usually, like in the higher budget ones, they have like a screen that it comes up with the clues. For that one, it was lower budget, so she would write the clue on a piece of paper and like fold it into a little airplane and fly it into the room.
There should be an escape room where you have to, like a grooming escape room where you have to trim nails on a pug before you can get the clue. All of them. You only have this much time. You gotta get all their nails trimmed before you get the next clue. So.
But you could do lots of things, if you just Google like
you can Google like team building and so many things will pop up.
But honestly though, you could take your team to dinner.
Take them to dinner.
Like, don't just order food to come to the shop. That's not team building. Take them out somewhere and find out what they like to do.
John,
Great America.
Yeah.
John, all of the people that work for John really like pinball, like John. So he every couple months takes them out to a arcade that has a ton of pinball machines, and they get dinner and they hang out, and
that's more social maybe than team building.
But it brings it's bringing you that team, like they're playing games together usually, and it brings them together closer as people instead of just employees. And it's been great for them. And it brings up the morale too. Yeah. Like I know that they will look forward to it for weeks where they're like, I can't wait. And so it gets them excited to keep working.
Takes for team to Jamaica.
Yeah. You don't have to do that, but that's amazing.
Well, if their sales hit a certain thing, then everybody gets to go.
That's amazing.
I mean, that's incredible. If your salon is doing that well that you're able to take your crew on a vacation.
I would like to see Allison do some business classes, like teach business.
That'd be a good idea. She's actually kind of shy, so that's what's so funny.
I know.
I mean, it's like speaking out. Well, we could probably.
Like, she's an amazing boss.
Yeah.
I haven't worked for her, but I can tell she's an amazing boss.
I mean, she's there. I mean, yeah, business-wise, she knows what she's doing. Patrick is good too. Like, you could almost get the two of them to maybe do a class, right? He
power couple,
right? He can, he can talk about like the real, like the deep, the the details,
Yeah.
where she can just, focus on, how we implement it and
Yeah.
how it looks. So
That would be, we're going to poke.
I've got some thoughts on some other things that I want to talk to you about. All right, let's try to run through the rest. No, it's okay. Let's just get through. I'm just gonna give all three of these just kind of all together. So audit our website and social media, ensure brand messaging is consistent and clean, and consider simplifying and refining. Less is more.
So, which is kind of what I was talking about that I'm doing right now. I also do plan to go through my website and audit it, make sure everything's going
I just did
the way I want it.
that because I, like I said, I've made some choices, and so I went through and I pulled a few things completely off the website. I added a couple things to the website. I'm not done. Like I said, I'm considering my scheduling and changing that up a little bit. So I might go in and do that too.
What do you use for your website?
Wix.
Wix.
Me too.
Wix. Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
I love Wix.
I love Wix.
I built it years ago, and yeah, it works.
It's very user friendly.
I think so. I mean, I did it myself.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't. I take that back. I did not build my own website. My daughter built it for me. But I could still go in and edit it. And again, it is very user friendly.
And no offense, but you're not a technology person. So that's pretty impressive for you to be able to go in and like edit and change things and stuff like that.
Took me a minute to get comfortable doing it. I would just write everything down and send it to her, and she would fix it for me. But she's got to that point too where it's like, Mom, you got to figure this out because I'm busy.
Yeah.
And so I've had to figure it out, and I have. If I get stuck, I know I can. There's like a line. I don't know if it's on one of the pages or all the pages, and I don't know if it was like a box. You know how when you have to go and kind of take it out. So I haven't quite figured out how to undo that, and it's not a big deal. I just keep seeing it every time I open, so it's like, I really need to talk to Alex about that.
I could probably help you too.
Yeah, see if she can, or somebody could just kind of, can that come
figure it out? Yeah. Yeah, I suggest Wix for anybody who needs to do it. I had a lot of I'm tech savvy, and I had a lot of website knowledge already, but when I switched, because I was using WordPress, which is it's a shit show, and I switched to Wix. Yeah,
the website I had been working on for years.
When I switched it in December when I went to John's mom's for Christmas. So I built my website in the week that I was there. And it was so easy. It has, I mean, I sell my classes. I have an online, a back room for my students to go into where it's an online classroom for all of their virtual stuff. So it's all there, and I have forms to fill out and all of that. I could not get it this nice with WordPress. But yeah, I have to reevaluate my website a little bit, do some updates because I haven't updated it since December.
Brand messaging is consistent and clean.
Yes.
I think that's pretty important. We need to be looking at that.
Yeah, consistency is big. Put your brand on everything, especially when you're marketing. I know you're not marketing as much right now, but I also suggest for people who are getting into education, if you're wanting to teach, you need a brand for that. I am the meditative groomer, and that's what I brand myself as.
See, this is the part that I've tried to brand myself as your cat's groomer.
Yeah.
Because my focus is what's best for the cat. And if I'm going to listen to the cat,
mm-hmm.
and the cat says, we're not doing this, and we're not going to need to kind of look at some other way that we could get this done because, this isn't what your cat wants to do. So, do we house call? Do we give meds?
Yeah.
Or is there a different groomer that might work best for you? You know, whatever it is, that's kind of always been what I've tried to be my brand. And I think about that, like these classes. I want to do more teaching. I want to have those opportunities.
You need to
But
put
I
that
also,
brand into
but see, then I also feel like
Yeah, that's imposter syndrome. You're good enough.
Like I see, like,
Hold on, do I need to get Pedro to tell you you're worth it?
I mean, I'm worth it. Yeah, I do. I have that imposter syndrome, you know,
Yeah.
like I see all these other names of, you know, the cat people, and it's like, well, of course they want her to do classes. She's her, right? And of course they want her to do classes because she's her.
But
it's
you know why they are them? It's because they branded themselves, and they worked really hard to push that brand. So
not pushy.
yeah,
But you don't have to be pushy.
I'm not a salesperson.
Neither am I.
Although I tell you what, I was getting those.
But we're gonna go
for PSD. I was getting those names.
Yeah.
You know, I wish they would tell us who did most because I want to know.
We could probably
I keep telling her.
it could be a contest. I'm putting that in my feedback form now.
This whole weekend, I kept telling Domenico and Elena that, you know, I'm your best salesperson. Right? Your number one salesperson. Look, I need more bags because I'm your number one salesperson. All weekend, I don't even know if that's a thing. It was fun. But having a great, I'm really, as sore and exhausted as I am, I have a lot of fun, and that's why I keep doing it.
Same.
Because these weekends are brutal. Like they are,
especially if you're hungover on pack up day. Don't do that. Don't be hungover on pack up day. The amount of times I had to stop so that I didn't throw up.
Like, you were moving. You were moving different.
Yeah.
Yeah, you weren't moving as like you usually.
Just in general on Sunday.
Look at how many times you had to go back. Remember when you were locking and you missed a whole row, and it was like, what? Where did I miss? I don't see it. Right there.
Right there.
Right behind. Turn around.
Oh,
but
yeah.
It's because you weren't on your feet.
No, I was so off. And
we work so well together.
We do.
We're like a well-oiled machine.
When I'm not hungover.
That's what we're doing. That.
Yeah, I will say, like, it's the first time that, like, I've
had off days there, or just like days where I'm in a lot of pain, stuff like that. That was the first time where almost every single person asked me, am I okay? And they're like, are you okay? And then like other people came up and they're like, I heard you weren't feeling well. Like, but I was off my game that day. Oh, my point is what I was saying with the branding is you don't have to be a salesperson. You just have to be yourself. Like, when I was networking on, I got 2 private lessons. I convinced 2 people to take private lessons with me while I was drinking. And it was before I got drunk. Like, it was just while I was drinking, and I was just being myself. And I got 2 private lessons out of that. And it made me like, I didn't have to be pushy. They were just like, I was listening. They were telling me about, and that's what I'm good at. I'm good at listening. And they're telling me about, you know, what they're struggling with. And I'm like, I could help you with that. And that's all I had to do. Like, I could help you with that. I do private lessons. They're on my website. Like that's what you need. That's all you really need to do. You need to get out there and do it. And then like being online as well, you have to, with that, you have to be a little bit more pushy, but it's not like salesman-y. You just have to make sure you're consistent with posting and sharing it so people will see it. But you could totally do it.
Okay. Well, we're gonna
work on your branding.
Work on that.
It's time to audit your branding. So, yes. spins and stems.
Stems. I'll pull it up here.
Do.
I didn't even drink that much coffee,
but I feel like it's
hard.
hitting me hard.
You need to take a break?
No, just
the caffeine.
Oh, okay.
I did also
take my meds.
Okay, so I worked on the spins and stems. So there's only a few questions, but it is, let's see. So what are we going to harvest, which keep, nourish, lean into,
Mhm.
and what are we going to let go? Okay. So in the salon, sweep or vacuum the salon before leaving. What do you think? What should you do?
Well, I know the answer should be keeping it, but I hate sweeping and vacuuming.
What about helping your coworker to finish?
Oh, 100%.
Like whether it's
100%.
room or cleaning.
Yeah.
You know, maybe you clean for them because they're taking a while to.
No one leaves until everyone leaves. That's how I feel.
Wow, I don't know about that.
I mean, if they're all supposed to get off at the same time, like obviously, if you have those weird schedules.
All finishing up.
I didn't like the shop very much that I worked at, but there is a shop that I worked at where literally no one would stop cleaning until the grooming was done, or start cleaning until the grooming was done, and we would help each other finish the grooms. So if someone was behind, I finished, I'd jump in and help them finish that groom. And I love that. I think that teamwork was great.
It's funny, when I was in grooming school, so, you know, I don't like cleaning, but I like helping.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. So like when I was in grooming school, when I was done and I would grab the vacuum and start vacuuming, or between dogs when I would vacuum as far as I could reach, right?
Mhm.
I wouldn't just vacuum, but there were groomers that would just vacuum
Their
their
area.
space. And so I wouldn't do that. So what I noticed is that when I was willing to do that, all of that, other people started to be willing to do that.
Mhm.
And then they would give your space.
Yeah. Community.
It's community, and it's
Teamwork.
well, it's when you see somebody doing something and you and then you do it too. There's a word for them. I can't think of the word for
So
that.
basically, it makes you realize, oh, I should do that.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Yeah. So there was So I would do
Like,
that.
oh, that's a good idea.
Right. And I'm like that. Like I don't necessarily like cleaning. I don't like cleaning. Like I really don't like cleaning. But I like to help.
Yeah.
So I won't just clean my space and leave. Like I feel like
Oh, yeah.
I'll help everybody.
That was the same, like, with us with cleaning. Like, we would help each other clean. And, like, if we were doing it between dogs, like, if any of us, if we were vacuuming between dogs, we would vacuum everybody else's space.
If like there was a bunch of hair on the table but the dog wasn't there, we'd vacuum off the table, make sure that was, because sometimes like they might have started doing the hair, like done the shave down and then went to the bath right away. So then we just vacuum up that hair so that when they came back out with that dog, their table was already cleaned off. So yeah, and like, and like with that case too, like I'd vacuum and then I'd probably also disinfect it because it just had dirty hair all over it, But it takes me 5 seconds to spray some disinfectant on there, And I love that. I like that kind of teamwork. I hate salons where people are only taking care of themselves. Because it's a team. It's a team thing. You can't only be for yourself.
Taking just one more dog.
No, absolutely not. Especially not the day of. Don't call me for a day of appointment.
I don't care
Absolutely.
if I have today and tomorrow free. I'm probably going to make you wait 2 days.
Yeah.
Well,
I need 2 days
depends,
to mentally prepare for that
right.
shit.
It depends on the animal, but yeah. Like I did, like this week, I had a cat that I offered him the very next day. She wasn't available the very next day.
Yeah.
I had somebody call for a nail trim and I said, come today. That doesn't usually happen. I usually make people wait, but I also know I'm going to be gone like all next week. So I almost scheduled cats for myself. I think I said dog. I think I almost scheduled cats for myself on Monday, which is Labor Day. And I thought, well, I could work if they want to bring their cat on Labor Day. I mean, I don't know. We don't do anything. But then I thought, no, I'm not doing it. I am not going to work on Labor Day. I'm taking that day off. I got a lot of packing I need to do. I want to make sure I'm ready because we're going to be bright and early Tuesday. So I want to make sure that I'm.
Yeah. I agree. Though I will say when I was mobile, I loved working Labor Day and Memorial Day. Yeah. And the reason is because you're mobile. No one has to bring the dog in, so they're all partying. So when they're drinking in the middle of the day, they're not wasted. They're usually drinking a decent amount where they're a little just a little friendlier, and they're so happy because they have the day off. And then they give you such a big tip. I had probably 5 dogs that I would regularly do on those days. And every single time they would bring their dog out to me with their little cup of whatever they were drinking, and they'd stand there and drink their drink while they handed the dog off to me. And then they'd give me like $100 for my tip. I mean, it's usually like $150 haircut, it's mobile. But they'd give me like $50 to $100. And it was amazing. And they were so nice.
And I have in the past.
I don't like doing it.
I've worked like Easter Sunday or Father's Day, Mother's Day. It's like, yeah, no, just I'll, whatever. I mean, usually
Not
it's
really
just,
a holiday.
Usually it's just a nail trim or something, but it's like, I don't care if you're here, I'll do it. But I'd said, no, I'm taking Labor Day off. Sam's off work, so we're going to be off together. Last one on there, let's say managing client expectations.
Yes.
Definitely. Yes. And that goes back to be honest with your clients too. Yeah. Be honest with what you can do. And there's not a slight on you if you just tell people, look, I know what you want. I'm your cat's groomer.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm going to do what the cat allows.
Yeah.
And if they're not going to let me, I've had people, I want a line cut. Your cat is absolutely terrified of the clipper. Yeah. As soon as I turn it on, they hit the roof. I'm not clipping your cat. Yeah. I'm not going to do this to your cat. It's not going to look good. You're not going to like it. They're certainly not going to like it. Yeah. We're not going to do it. Mm-hmm. So let's do something else. Okay, so that's a good one. So now we've got in the community. Excuse me. Free nail trims for events. Maybe.
That's a maybe.
Maybe.
Depends on the situation.
But doing nail trims at events, I think, is a good.
Yeah.
Get out there.
And in some situations, free is fine. If it was like a rescue thing, I'd probably do free nail trims or
I'm not going to charge you.
I do a lot of times. I will charge if I'm at an event and I do nails. I'll charge, but then all of it will go to the rescue. But doing those doing that can be a really good way, especially with marketing. You do those nails on that dog and you can talk to the client about your grooming and why you should groom. You can get some good clients out of that. But I doing it for free can be hard.
Emergency groom.
I don't believe in emergency grooms.
Haircut. What constitutes an emergency? Your dog got skunked? Give it a bath. Or don't bathe it. Use the baking soda. Soak up as much as you can.
I don't think there is anything that can't wait until the next day as far as grooming goes. There's nothing that they can't wait until the next business day.
Into motor oil or something that they may ingest, like with a cat.
Yeah. In which case, the owner is perfectly capable of cleaning that off.
Which is why when the whole COVID thing happened, I wasn't one of those people pushing we're an essential business.
I was also the same way.
We're not in it. I mean, I don't know. Yes, they need a haircut. Yes, they need to be maintained. But, when you talk about essential, you're talking about something that's life or death. It is a fucking haircut. We have all seen dogs that
no one is gonna die from a haircut, from not getting a haircut. Yeah.
Alive and fine and healthy,
Yeah.
and nobody's going to make them wait a year. So don't tell me that we're essential. This is not life and death. It's a haircut. And if it were life and death, the vets can clip them.
Yeah, if it's life and death, I'm not going to be the one doing it anyway.
Right. Well, there you go. If it's life and death, it's not going to be me.
Like,
right.
if there's a chance that dog's going to die,
Yes.
like a high chance.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I want it. Right. So that was my thing. But you know what?
Yeah.
At the same time,
you know what? All of my clients,
everyone that was like worried about it, they reached out and they were like, hey, what can I do to make sure that it's maintained until you're able to start again? Yeah. And then I sent them videos of how to do it. You know, luckily I had that time to make those videos, but like, you know, none of them died. None of them, like when I came back 6 weeks later, none of them were in such bad shape that they were uncomfortable.
Like, but that's me personally. Other people felt very differently. I'm not going to argue with other people. You do you.
Me either. I agree with you.
Personally, I don't.
I think we are important.
Absolutely.
And
I think we're essential, but not in that way.
Yeah.
You know, I think we're essential that pets need to be groomed, and not every owner is capable or willing to do it. So we have, you know, we provide that service that's essential for their maintenance, just like my hairdresser.
Yeah, but it isn't life or death.
But it's not life or death, you know.
And it's not. I didn't find it worth it to
put myself or my family at risk.
Well, that, and also putting other people,
or putting
you know,
making you come out when you should clearly be at home.
Yeah.
You know, whether you believe it or not, you should not be running around in this world right now when we don't really know what we're dealing with. Mm. And unfortunately, we had an administration then that we have again now that is fucking clueless. You know, and all they cared about was their numbers and how they looked. They didn't actually care about what was going on. Okay, let's see. Let me go 2 more here.
Okay.
Celebrating other businesses, other groomers.
Always. Yeah. Like the 2 that I met that they had just like left that abusive relation. I'm like, I'm so proud of you guys. You are so awesome. Like, and I'm like, and this is not drug me saying this. I'm really proud.
I would hear of a new grooming business opening up in Racine. I try to be right there. I want to know who you are. I want to meet you. I want to know who you are. I want to give you my information, and we're going to have a relationship. Whether you like it or not, I am going to force myself. Okay, adopt a shelter or a rescue.
Adopt a shelter, like a dog?
Like working for a shelter or rescue.
I'm gonna pass on that.
I'm kind of mixed on that because I've tried to do it.
I've been burned many times.
It's bit me too. What ends up happening in my case? What ends up happening is they'll call and they want to get a cat groomed because it needs to be groomed. Cool, I can help you with that, but they have to wait until I have time. Right? I can't do it today, and usually
they always want it right.
Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't, but it's still a matter of we have to work on when, right? That's not always convenient. But what has happened to me is like I give gift cards they do raffles and stuff, and it's like, hey, this is a free groom, and somehow
it's always someone,
the employees or the volunteers are the ones that are always winning these, and not that they're not putting out their money and earning it, but it's kind of like,
and we're not going to get any clients from that if they're not.
Unless they're going to become clients that are going to come.
But the likelihood of one of their fosters becoming a client is so low.
So I'm kind of with you on that.
Yeah, I've been burnt a lot, and then like in Illinois it was really bad. Like it would be, I need it right this second. I don't have time right this second. Well, then we're going to talk shit about you to everybody else.
And I am.
Yeah. And then like when I was working with TNR programs, And the TNR program was really nice, but people around that involved in it were a problem. So like I would help trap cats, and then we would put them in my porch in the traps until we could get them to the vet the next day. And then they would recover in my porch, which is very comfortable. But like, they're feral cats. They stay in their traps. I fed them. I gave them water. They were well taken care of. I would every day, I would switch out their newspaper to make sure that they weren't sitting in their shit and piss. Like, they were taken care of. But like, if someone came to drop off a cat and they heard like one cat like meowing, they'd lose their shit. And then they'd call the TNR program. She's abusing animals. Or like, there was one lady who she was doing a lot of TNR, and she had too many cats, but they were still all pretty well taken care of. But her life was totally destroyed by another rescue person, because they went to the news saying she was a hoarder and told them about how there was cats in the freezer, and there was a hole in the backyard where she was putting dead cats, and it was a whole thing. I don't trust rescue people, unfortunately.
I know there's a line between helping and hurting, and I think ideally I want my rescues to help. Whether they're human rescues or animal rescues, I want them to help. I want them to whatever my situation is, whether it's a shitty, lame excuse or a really good excuse, it doesn't matter. I want you to help. And so, yeah, if I remember a story years ago about a woman who had a dog, and she was elderly, the dog was elderly. Well, the dog somehow went down in the basement and couldn't get up the steps to get out of the basement. And so she would, she managed, she was able to get down there and feed it and give it water, but she couldn't physically get the dog out of the basement. So the dog would pee and poo all over the basement. And she, initially she did what she could, but after a while it gets, it's all overwhelming. And, so it wasn't a good situation. It's fine. Just,
yeah, I think
the screen just goes, yeah. But it wasn't a very, good situation. She reached out for help. Well, she reached out for help. She probably should have reached out for help a couple months sooner, but she reached out for help. But
when you get into that situation, it's so hard to reach out for help.
Then what happened is they came, they took the dog. I believe, if I remember correctly, I think the dog ended up being put down. And it was old. It was an old dog, and it may, it wasn't living in the best situation, so it could very well have been sick. And maybe it needed to be put down. Like, maybe that was the best thing for it. I don't know. But it didn't seem like that was the right thing to do. And then they fined this woman for keeping the dog in in this circumstance. And it was just like,
but she reached out for help.
That's not see, and that's the thing. Like, when I see all the time, hey, I got this dog or this cat, and look at the condition. What should I do? There's not much you can do. Like, you can report it, but the reality is, once they're in your salon, they have reached out for help. They're getting help. They're not going to do anything, right? Like, they're not going to follow up.
Yeah, I actually had someone in a class ask me about like how to handle that, because they were dealing with a lot of dogs getting
brought in that were in bad shape.
Take a lot of pictures and just document it.
Yeah, I'm like, make sure you're documenting everything. Just remember, like, you can't help everyone. You can't help every dog. You got to do what you can. And they're like they don't even have like an animal control or anything like that. So they're like, we can't even reach out to anybody. And I'm like, then at this point, you have to deal with the fact that that you're the best that it can get, and that is fine. Like, you're making it comfortable by grooming this dog, and
Document it. Document,
document
the
the shit.
people, who they are, and the dates and the condition and all that stuff. And if they come back in the same condition, maybe
And also, some people, some people don't care.
Some people just don't know. So make sure you're educating. Are we ready?
Let's see. These are all pretty much yeses. But, witchy playlists and podcasts.
Absolutely.
Clear intentions.
Like this podcast.
Yeah. Yes. Listen to this podcast. Okay. Personal energy. Feel the feelings.
Yes. Always feel the feelings.
If you have to take a step away from the grooming table and bawl your eyes out, do it.
It is okay to have the feelings. What really matters is how you react afterwards. So when you're having big feelings about something, don't react in that moment. Take your time, feel the feelings, let it pass, because you can't make a rational decision either.
So
you have to get over that hump of the emotions, and look what happened. Like I honestly felt like, okay, I'm over the hump of the emotions. I'm making these decisions now. I let a client go, and then I'm still feeling guilty for letting them go, and I'm thinking I should bring them back. So was I really all the way over the emotions before I did it? On the other hand, if I'd have gotten further over the emotions, maybe I wouldn't have done it at all.
Yeah.
And I would be doing this again in 6 months. So, but you've got to know yourself.
Also,
you've got to know yourself.
You can also have, make that decision and also feel bad for the dogs. Like, it is okay, but like you're not any use to the dog or cat if you're not 100%, and you're not 100%.
Snacks and water between grooms.
Always.
Yay! Be honest with
Stay
clients.
hydrated. Yes.
Be honest with those clients. We talked about that a few times.
Sometimes brutally.
Be kind to my coworkers. Myself.
Yes.
Stretch. Lots of stretches and meditate. So that's all I got for my spins and stems.
All right.
So it is time to pull an oracle card.
All right. So I've pulled it. We have the aspiration one. So it has the mountain pink and a large orange sulfur. I don't know what that means here. Okay. Flower, mountain pink. Yeah. So the flower is mountain pink and the butterfly is the large orange sulfur. All right. So mountain pink, also known as quinine weed, is a group of wildflowers that grow like a small bush. It covers the plains, mostly in Texas and parts of Oklahoma, where they spring up in clusters to dot the wild countryside with bright pink star-shaped flowers from spring to early fall. During the settlement of the West, it was thought they could bring down fevers, but they are now known to be lethal to grazing animals. That's super helpful. While considered a weed, mountain pink often adorns rock gardens and xeriscapes in the southern states of the U.S. They prefer a rocky soil and will often spring up in the cracks of boulders, aspiring to bring beauty to the dry, desolate areas. Look deep within yourself and think about who you want to be in your life. Aspiration is less about what you want to do than what you want for the self. Attach yourself to bigger dreams and a personality that is more than who you are currently. There is so much more to you and your life than people see. Choose to know it and to show it. This card is prompting you to go after the aspirations you hold in your heart. Book those gigs and take those classes. You know who you want to become, so determine the traits you need to embody to become that person. The universe supports and nurtures those who work toward the goals they seek. Feel confident in who you are now and who you are becoming. That's very beautiful. Yeah. It's such a pretty deck. I don't know when I will eventually get over this deck. I have so many to try. That's fine.
All right. As above, so below. May your pets be clean and your spirit glow.
Bye.
Until next time. Bye.